All right, we'll be calling the meeting to order now. Thank you so much. So we'll go ahead and start with 1.2 Pledge of Allegiance, and I'll have Ms. Villalbazo lead us in the pledge, please.
We stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Ready? Begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic. You may be seated.
Thank you so much. That was great. All right, 1.3 approval of the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
Madam President?
Hold on. Yes, Mr. Komnick, I believe you want to.
Yes, please. May we pull 10.2?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
So we'll go ahead and pull 10.2, and then can I get that motion again?
So moved.
Moved by Ms. Felicia, and then Dr. Wyatt, sorry. Motion passed. Now we're going to go ahead and go to 2.0 special presentations and recognitions. 2.1. Oh, I will be passing it over to Ms. Goodwin.
Thank you, President Ceballos. Good evening. My name is Mary Roan Goodwin, and I am the Director of Communications and Community Relations. I'd like to invite our board members and our executive cabinet to make their way to the front of the dais and over here to the ramp here for executive cabinet as we prepare for tonight's recognition. At this time, I'd like to toss it to my brilliant communications manager, Maria Garcia.
By chance, do we have Tim Evans here? Okay, so we're going to skip the recognition of our outstanding community partner because they are not in attendance. So we will go straight to the recognition of students. It is now time to present tonight's outstanding students, parents, and employee awards, which allows the Board of Education to honor deserving students for demonstrating excellence in academics, athletics, fine arts, and citizenship. This also lends an opportunity to recognize parents, volunteers, and employees who have gone above and beyond in support of their schools and departments. All of tonight's honorees will receive a certificate of appreciation from our Board of Education. Student and parent award winners will receive free tickets for their family to attend the San Bernardino Symphony, and our student honorees will also receive a district bumper sticker and yard sign. Audience, these presentations will take approximately 20 minutes, and I kindly ask that you please return to your seats after receiving your award as a courtesy to your fellow honorees. With that in mind, when your name is called, would you and your immediate family please come forward to accept your award by walking down the ramp where you see the balloons. You will be greeted by Superintendent Mauricio Arellano, the Board of Education, and your principal. Please pause at the center for a photo. After your photo, please finish shaking hands with the board members and use the walkway to my right to return to your seat. All right. So now we're going to honor Davidson Elementary School. Would Principal Tamara Brown please join us? Audience, let's welcome our first outstanding student, Chase Gray Luna. Chase is a first grader in Hugh Tat's class. He excels in academics, especially in writing, where his creativity and effort truly shine. Chase always wears a smile and consistently follows school-wide expectations with a positive attitude. His behavior and dedication make him a strong role model for his peers and make us all so proud. Great job, Chase. Let's keep the applause going for Jerry Howie, a fifth grader in Denise Vander Walker's class. Jerry is thrilled about the academic progress that he's making and eagerly shares his success with others. He's also proud of how much his citizenship has improved, showing more responsibility and respect. With growing confidence, he's learning to be a positive role model for his classmates. And thanks to his parents, LaDonna Perez and Jerry Howie, for raising such a wonderful child. We're also very proud of Jerry. Our first Outstanding Grandparent Award winners are Roberto and Martha Tapia. Roberto and Martha brought joy to students during the winter holidays by dressing up as Santa and Mrs. Claus. They handed out candy canes and spread cheer, creating a festive and memorable experience for all. Their ongoing support helps ensure that students feel happy, valued, and connected to the Davidson community. Thank you both for your support. All right, now please help me welcome recreational aide and parent volunteer worker Minerva Canela. Minerva comes to work each day with a smile, bringing warmth and positivity to everyone she encounters. She is kind, compassionate, and consistently supports parents, students, and staff throughout her day. Her dedication and willingness to go above and beyond make a lasting impact on students and the school community. Thank you, Minerva. And now for our final Davidson Elementary honoree, fourth grade teacher Claudia Perez. Claudia displays excellence in her craft and has shown tremendous professional and student growth over time. Her classroom is calm, inviting, and thoughtfully designed to support student learning and well-being. When you step into her classroom, you can immediately feel the passion and care she brings to her teaching every day. Thank you, Claudia, for helping Davidson shine. Now let's keep that energy going by giving a big round of applause as we prepare to welcome Del Rosa Elementary School. And Principal Carrie Bernstein. Would the Del Rosa leadership team make your way forward at this time? Audience, please put your hands together for fifth grader Isaiah Hayes. Isaiah has embraced the music program with pride and excellence. To hear him play the violin is to experience how sound dances across time, telling stories that live forever and communicating in a language that embodies math, science, art, and psychology. Del Rosa is truly privileged to have Isaiah as a student. His parents, Jessica Keeley and Anthony Hayes, must be so very proud. Let's give them a round of applause. All right, now put your hands together and help me welcome outstanding student Andrew Wagner as he makes his way forward. Andrew is a fourth grader in Samantha Marabella's class. Andrew has an affinity for learning. He is passionate about understanding the who, what, and why of most subjects. Andrew performs in the top 10% of the entire school, and he attends class every day ready to learn. Andrew is a true joy to have in class. Now, please help me welcome outstanding parents Cindy and Jonte LaVar Washington. Cindy and Jonte are the proud parents of Michelle Williams. Together, they embody the idea that when community and school work together, we have the power to help children thrive. Let's give them a round of applause. Audience, please help me welcome our next honoree, Cafeteria Manager Rosie Ramirez Andrade. Rosie goes above and beyond to meet the needs of students. She maintains an environment of high expectation and standards, allowing students to enjoy mealtime in a clean and safe environment. She collaborates with administrators consistently, including organizing field trips and Saturday school. Thank you, Rosie, for all that you do. Our final Del Rosa honoree is third grade teacher Jimmy Deonat. Jimmy teaches his students how to take ownership of their own learning, recognizing that in the right environment, every child can meet their greatest potential. In his class, expectations are taught and retaught with kindness and patience, and everyone has a second chance to do it better. Most impressively, Jimmy teaches his students how to think. That's why we want to honor Jimmy as an outstanding certificated employee. Congratulations, Jimmy. Let's give everyone from Del Rosa another round of applause. Now it's my pleasure to welcome Serrano Middle School Principal Erin Freeman. Audience, let's give her and Serrano a round of applause as she makes her way to the front. Now please help me welcome 7th grader Robert Caldera. Robert and his family are making their way forward. Robert is a Tiger Team student and is being recognized today for his leadership and commitment to Serrano. Robert serves on the School Site Council and ASB, where he collaborates with peers to implement positive, innovative initiatives. He is also a skilled math tutor. His efforts have earned him the Principal's Award, reflecting his strong work ethic and positive influence. Congratulations to Robert Caldera. Now, please put your hands together as we welcome 8th grader Cairo Garcia. Cairo is a member of the Puma team. Cairo excels across all subjects and brings a high level of curiosity and engagement to every class. He has participated in every sport offered at Serrano, showcasing both talent and dedication. Kind, compassionate, athletic, and academically driven, he truly embodies the qualities of a high achiever. Cairo's parents, Jacqueline Loya and Cairo Garcia, must be so proud. Let's give them a round of applause. Now let's welcome outstanding parent Brenda Navarrete as she makes her way forward. Brenda is a warm-hearted and dedicated team member who is always willing to help whenever needed. Her ability to connect with families helps break down barriers and strengthens the school community. Through her guidance, she empowers parents to become informed and involved, supporting their children's success not only at Serrano, but throughout their educational journey. Thank you, Brenda. Now let's welcome bilingual clerk 2, Edna Velasquez. Edna provides translation services and supports parents and guardians in understanding the importance of attendance and academic achievement. She assists students with completing missing assignments. Her caring demeanor creates a sense of safety and reassurance for families and students. Thank you, Edna, for strengthening the connection between home and school and promoting student success. We appreciate you. Audience, now let's welcome 7th grade science teacher, Mary Murphy. Mary truly embodies the E and S in Shines through her actions and advocacy. She ensures that her classroom is a safe, secure, and equitable space for all students. Beyond her own classroom, she actively speaks up and advocates for these values to be upheld throughout the entire school. Her commitment to equity and student well-being is both unwavering and impactful. Thank you, Mary. Let's give a big round of applause to our outstanding Serrano honorees. And now for our final Outstanding Achievement Award school, Sierra High School. Would Principal Hector Murrieta please come forward? Hector told me that he drove all the way over here from Glendale, where he's serving on a WASC accreditation team. So thank you, Hector. Now let's welcome high school junior Manuel Manny Chavez Vasquez. Manny lives the SBC USD operating values of human potential, collaboration, resilience, and pride at Sierra High School. Whether he decides to return to his home school or complete his diploma at Sierra, his teachers, Joanna Valdez, Sonia Lantosh, Samuel Betancourt, and Ian Niewarner, are certain that he will make all of us shine. Congratulations to Manny on never losing your shine and helping others find theirs. Now let's give a big SBCUSD round of applause as we welcome Sierra High School senior Daisha Johnson. Daisha is a student leader who advocates for and supports her classmates as a member of the Sunshine Crew. She was a featured speaker during the recent ribbon cutting for Sierra High School's brand new Student Wellness Center. Daisha is passionate about making sure every Sierra student is cared for physically, emotionally, and academically. Thank you, Daisha, for being a role model for your peers and showing us the importance of caring for others. Let's welcome outstanding Auntie Corinthia Williams. After a full day at work at North Park Elementary School, where Corinthia serves as an instructional tutor, she takes time out to help her nephew, Demario Thompson, at Sierra. But more than that, she makes herself available to help anyone regarding anything they need at Sierra. Principal Hector Murrieta has Corinthia on speed dial because she knows that he can always count on his outstanding auntie. Thank you, Corinthia. Audience, our next honoree is Account Clerk Esperanza Ochoa. Esperanza has the unique ability to handle and manage budgets and be a people-oriented employee. It is not uncommon to see and hear Esperanza illuminating her role as account clerk by supporting and attending student and staff events like prom attire giveaways, and staff appreciation days. She cares about our money, but she also cares about our people. It is time to announce our final Outstanding Achievement Award honoree for this evening, and that is Teacher Rob Christie. For Rob, there is no such thing as For Rob, there's no such thing as a student who can't graduate, just a student who needs an alternative approach. He serves students with a wide variety of needs and situations, and his entire approach to teaching is to accommodate the students, not having students accommodate his approach. Rob is exactly what Sierra High School students need and what they deserve. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, members of the board, superintendent, and cabinet. Would you kindly return to your seats? And thank you to our gracious audience for showing your support for your fellow honorees. We're sending a special thank you to the San Bernardino Symphony Orchestra for supporting this evening's honorees. Students, please remember to pick up your yard sign from our team member, Victoria Wood, before you leave the community room. This concludes this evening's special presentation. At this time, I'll turn the floor over to Board President Mayra Ceballos. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. Congratulations once again to all our award recipients. We're actually going to move on to 2.2 now, resolution in recognition of AANHPI Heritage Month. And I will go ahead and ask Ms. Villalbazo if she can read it for us. It's 2.2 resolution.
Whereas in 1978, President Jimmy Carter signed into law Asian/Pacific American Heritage Week to be celebrated during the first 10 days of May. And in 1992, Congress passed a law designating the entire month of May as Asian Pacific American Heritage Month. And whereas the month of May was originally chosen to commemorate the immigrants of the first Japanese of the United States on May 7th. 1843, and to mark the anniversary of the completion of the Transcontinental Railroad on May 10th, 1869, because the majority of workers who laid tracks were Chinese immigrants. And whereas Congress recently designated May as Asian American, Native Hawaiian, and Pacific Islander Heritage Month, with AANHPI, and compassion all peoples who are traced their heritage from the Asian continent, the Hawaiian Islands, and the Pacific Islands. And whereas May is a time to celebrate and pay tribute to the contributions made by generations of Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders to government, industries, and commerce, agriculture, science, literature, and the arts. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District designates May 2025 as AANHPI Heritage Month, joining with all Americans in celebrating the rich and diverse cultures of these varied groups, and designates the appropriate lessons about the contributions of Asian Americans, Native Hawaiians, and Pacific Islanders take place in our schools not only during this month but throughout the school year.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Dr. Wyatt. Vote, please. Ms. Villalbazo?
Aye.
Vote passed. Motion passed, sorry. 2.3, resolution in recognition of Jewish American Heritage Month. I'll have Mr. Santos read that for us, please.
Whereas the San Bernardino City Unified School District is home to Jewish American students, families, staff who contribute to the district's mission of fostering a learning environment that values diversity, equity, and inclusion. And whereas in 2006, Congress issued a resolution urging the president to observe Jewish American Heritage Month annually in May in honor of the celebration of the 350th anniversary of American Jewish history held 2 years prior. And whereas being Jewish is a complex combination of religion, culture, and ancestry that can include secular Jews who do not practice the Jewish religion, individuals who have converted to Judaism, and whereas Jewish Americans have contributed to all aspects of American history and culture, including the contributions of physicist Albert Einstein, Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, comic book legend Stan Lee, prolific voice actor Mel Blanc, and many more. Therefore, let it be resolved, the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District designates May 2025 as Jewish American Heritage Month and designates appropriate lessons about the contributions of Jewish Americans take place in our schools not only during May but throughout the school year.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Ms. Alexander, second by Dr. Wyatt. A vote, please. Ms. Villalbazo?
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passed. 2.3, resolution in recognition of Labor History Month. Dr. Wyatt, would you please read that for us?
Thank you, Madam President. Whereas May is Labor History Month in California, as proclaimed by President Bill Clinton in 1995, and signed into law by Governor Jerry Brown in 2012. And whereas labor history reveals the vital role of labor unions in the establishment of the 8-hour workday, the 40-hour work week, unemployment insurance, workers' compensation, old age pensions, protection for the sick, equal employment opportunity, and prohibition of child labor, as well as legislation banning discrimination in employment. And whereas labor history shows that American workers were in the forefront of the effort to make free public education available to all children, regardless of geography or social and economic status. And whereas the San Bernardino City Unified School District, through its linked learning pathways and other efforts, is strengthening the labor force and economic vitality of the cities of San Bernardino and Highland by ensuring that students graduate prepared to succeed in college and careers. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education, the San Bernardino City Unified School District, hereby declares May 2025 to be Labor History Month, and schools are encouraged to commemorate this month with appropriate educational exercises to make students aware of the role the labor movement has played in sharpening California and the United States. So move.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Ms. Medina. Vote please. Ms. Villalbazo?
Aye.
Thank you.
Mr. Santos?
Motion passed. 2.5 resolution in recognition of Williams Syndrome Awareness Month, and I'll have Ms. Abeles read that for us, please.
Whereas May is Williams Syndrome Awareness Month, a time dedicated to raising awareness about the rare genetic condition that affects an estimated 30,000 people in the United States. And whereas Williams syndrome is often characterized by a host of lifelong medical and developmental challenges, and whereas every person diagnosed with Williams syndrome is unique, but these individuals often have highly social personalities, striking verbal skills, and an affinity for music. And whereas North Park elementary student Jonathan Martinez, who tragically died on April 10th, 2017, in a senseless act of violence, was born with Williams syndrome, and excuse me. Whereas the Williams Syndrome Association has been working since 1982 to increase international awareness and bring valuable resources to families touched by the condition. Therefore, be it resolved, the Board of Education of the San Bernardino City Unified School District hereby proclaims May 2025 as Williams Syndrome Awareness Month, and takes this opportunity to honor the memory of Jonathan Martinez and remember him as a happy child who was social, friendly, and endearing.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Vote please, Ms. Villalbazo.
Aye.
Thank you. Motion passed. 3.0 public comments. 3.1 receive public comments. This is the only time the public will have an opportunity to address the board on items not on the agenda and within their subject matter jurisdiction, such as district policies, procedures, programs, services, or fiscal matters. Public comments are limited to 5 minutes per person. 6 or more people who wish to speak on a topic will be provided no more than 30 minutes total. Speakers are cautioned that under California law, no person is immune from liability for making intentionally false or defamatory comments regarding any person simply because these comments are made at a public meeting. And up first, we have Akil Savala. Achilles Savala. Thank you. I'm sorry, there's a little button on the mic.
Hello. Okay. Good evening, board. My name is Achilles Warkar Zavala, and I'm a high school senior at San Gorgonio High School, and I'm a leader with ICUC. My public comment does not align with anything on tonight's agenda, but I'm speaking on behalf of the ICUC youth leaders and other students who have been learning about the District Pathways program, especially those that support students interested in becoming future educators. We've been in conversation with our peers and have heard both this excitement about the opportunities these pathways offer and concerns about how they could be more accessible and better supported. Many students, particularly from underrepresented areas, feel there's a real chance to improve how pathways are promoted and expanded across the district. We believe students' voices are essential in shaping programs that are meant to serve us, and we're eager to be part of the conversation. We are especially interested in discussing how to strengthen recruitment, retention, and support for aspiring educators. With that, we would like to respectfully request a meeting with Dr. Funches and Dr. Venkatsan to share our insights and ideas. We will follow up through an email to make sure we can make these meetings happen and have these changes come to life. Thank you for your time and for your continued commitment to student success.
Thank you so much for your comment. Up next, we have Mr. Edwin Delgado.
Good evening, Board President Ceballos, Vice President Grande, and board members, Cabinet, Superintendent Arellano, and distinguished guests in our community. It's always a pleasure to be here at the San Bernardino City Unified School District Board meetings. I always smile every single time we see all the great things that are happening in our school district. And speaking about great things that are happening, our office is hosting our third cohort of Youth Advisory Council students, and we're inviting the San Bernardino City Unified School District to be part of this council. This council brings together high school students from throughout the school district, Colton, Rialto, San Bernardino, and our unincorporated areas of Bloomington and Muscoy, to engage in public service, develop leadership skills, and learn how county government directly impacts their lives and their neighborhoods. Our students, they don't just show up to meetings, they show up for their communities through events. They organize drives that support our community. For example, we had a clothing drive for our patients at our county hospital, Arrowhead Regional Medical Center. They've supported park openings, attended community events, and built meaningful relationships with leaders across our community. And I'd like to share some examples of what students shared through their exit applications. And one of them said, before the YAC, I didn't know what opportunities even existed in the county, and now I want to come back and work in public works to improve our roads and parks. Another one reflected that this program helped me realize that government isn't something we hear about, it's something we can be a part of. And we would be honored to welcome students from across our school districts, and San Bernardino City Unified School District being one of them. And our applications are now open, and you can find it on our website or through our social media pages. And we ask our community and all the different principals here and teachers to really encourage their students to apply. Thank you all for your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have Nikki Detman.
Good evening, Board and Cabinet, Superintendent Arellano. I am here today, Nikki Detman. I'm the CEO of the Making Hope Happen Foundation, but more importantly, I am a proud product of San Bernardino Schools. I'm here today to thank you all for your support of the Making Hope Happen Gala. And I wanted to come back and address some of the questions that you had in regard to the support that the foundation provides to the school district. So we have 4 program pillars at Making Hope Happen Foundation. One of them is the KIDS program, which is the Carnegie Infant Toddler Success Program, which is built around 3 goals: breaking harmful cycles and building healthy futures for families, creating a village of support, and empowering parents as their child's first teacher. So when we look at the data, research indicates that low-income 5-year-olds are 3 years behind in math and science compared to their more affluent peers. Neuroscience shows that 80 to 85% of brain development happens by the age of 3. So there's really a need for supportive parenting. And we are able to support parents through a couple of different ways. We offer parenting classes that are evidence-based. It's science of parenting classes that we provide in partnership with Cal State San Bernardino. Those classes are free for parents and they're offered in English and Spanish. We have our Kids Club, which is a place for parents just to be themselves, not Timmy's mom or so-and-so's wife, but really for them to be themselves. We do healthy activities like Zumba and yoga. We have art therapy, and we have therapists who come in and talk to the parents when they need that support. So since the 2020-2021 school year, we have delivered, in my opinion, an amazing return on investment for the funds that the district has provided for our kids program. The district has received an added value of $3.3 million from our kids program over the last 5 years. Our next program is Innovation in Education. This pillar supports initiatives in the school district by providing sound fiscal management for funds raised when technical assistance is needed and a platform for raising funds. So currently we have 5 of those. So the ETSA department issues scholarships. We're the fiscal sponsor for that. The Child Welfare Fund in partnership with the Atlas Department. Special Education Fund at Anderson School. The Olive Branch at Sierra High School. So I was really super excited to see Mr. Murrieta and his team here today. And Growing Hope at San Andreas High School, which if you haven't seen that project there, it is outstanding. They are teaching students to be entrepreneurs. The produce and products that they grow there, they actually sell to local restaurants. This pillar also supports our youth workforce development initiative. We currently have 10 San Bernardino High School students working as interns in our office, focusing on green energy and 21st century career skills through a partnership from the California State Air Resources Board and Southern California Gas. Those students make $20 an hour. So we're really giving them an opportunity to learn about new technology and new jobs. And finally, this pillar provides urgent and innovative funding for unique programs in the district. Over the years, our donors have provided funds for the Eye Care Lab at Bing Wong Elementary School and thousands of books for the district's Literacy Fest. But let's talk scholarships next. So scholarships is really our flagship pillar. That's what we were founded on. So we give a $3,000 cash scholarship plus a paid mentor for each student. That's a total value of $4,500 per scholarship. Since 2017, the foundation and its donors have provided a total value of $3,690,000 to San Bernardino students. We only give scholarships to San Bernardino City Unified students. Our students are at Harvard, at Princeton, at Stanford, the University of California, and local colleges like Cal State San Bernardino, Valley College, and the University of Redlands. And our final pillar is Uplift San Bernardino, which is a collective impact initiative to build a successful generation of adults committed to being here in San Bernardino. Our most critical work in this initiative is in partnership with the California Accountable Communities Health Initiative, where we received a $400,000 grant to build opportunities for students focused in the Baseline Waterman specific area. I'm just very grateful for all of the support that the board and the district has provided. I look forward to coming back on a regular basis to give you updates so that you know the money that you're investing in the foundation is not only being returned back to the district, but it's being returned multiple times over. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I have a question. Thank you so much. You look great, by the way. I really, really appreciate you coming and giving us this update because, you know, some of us may not know all of the wonderful things here on the board. Some of us may not, but also in the community, right? So I really do appreciate you coming and being responsive to you know the request. So I appreciate it.
Very welcome.
In terms of the first program that you mentioned about parents if somebody wanted to access, how would they go about it?
Right. So the kids program, that program is open to any family with a child age 0 to 5 that lives in the boundaries of San Bernardino City Unified School District. So all they have to do is they can go to our website, which is makinghope.org, or they can call our office 909-245-1454. All of these services are provided for free for parents. You know, the moms love coming and do yoga. They enjoy it, and we even do with the kids because we provide childcare. So we don't want you to worry about where the baby's going to be. You go and you chill and you have your time. So we even have an instructor that comes out and does Zumbini, which is baby Zumba for the little ones.
Thank you so much. I appreciate that information.
You're welcome. Thank you.
All right, up next we have Arthur Congo.
Good evening. My name is Arthur Congo, Director of Local Advocacy with CCSA. Here supporting the renewal for Woodward Leadership Academy for a charter term beginning July 2025 and ending in June 2030. As documented in district staff analysis, the California Department of Education's recent designation of WLA as a middle performing charter represents a substantial and positive shift from its previous classification as low performing. This reclassification has significant implications, including eligibility for a 5-year renewal term. Because of WLA's previous performance track classification, they had completed and submitted a school improvement plan. District staff found that the plan identifies root causes of performance challenges, including targeted subgroup strategies, and outlines clear metrics and milestones for academic improvement. Importantly, district staff were able to verify the early implementation of key components of the plan during their renewal site visit, observing student-facing strategies such as increased academic intervention staffing. WLA also provided verified academic data growth through their NWEA MAP assessments, and this data showed that students were achieving 1 year of academic growth in both ELA and math during the 23-24 school year. On the fiscal and government front, WLA's track record is notably sound. The school received an unmodified opinion in its most recent independent auditor's report for the last fiscal year. There were no material weaknesses or deficiencies that were identified. WLA has also met reserve requirements, fulfilled reporting obligations, and maintained responsible financial practices despite enrollment challenges, which is impressive, I feel. The district's fiscal team found no significant concerns, affirming the school's current and projected financial viability. In terms of governance, WLA has submitted updated bylaws, conflict of interest policies, and board member information, working closely with their legal counsel in doing so. These materials demonstrate the school's ongoing commitment to transparency and legal compliance, in addition to collaborative oversight in accordance with district standards. Based on the evidence and analysis presented in the district's report, it's clear that Woodward Leadership Academy is on an upward trajectory and has both the academic and operational foundations needed to serve its students effectively over the next 5 years. I respectfully urge the board to vote in favor of WLA's renewal. Thank you all for all your work, and thank you to district staff for their work on this as well.
Thank you so much. Up next, we have speakers from Salinas Elementary. So there were submissions of more than 5 speakers. So at this time, if you all want to head down to the front, you will have 30 minutes as a whole to speak. So I don't know if you want to choose or if you come up and line up, just be conscientious of all of the people that want to speak, but you will have a total of 30 minutes.
Hello, good evening, board. My name is Kelly Kwok Nielsen, and I am the SBTA representative from Salinas Elementary School. We're here tonight to discuss the potential loss of the Salinas Arts Magnet School program. We actually have become recently aware that our principal, Mr. Velasco, and the district are currently working towards solving this issue already, but we felt it was important for you all to hear the words of our students, current and former, our parents, our teachers, and our community members who are all part of the Salinas family. So I'm going to just kind of introduce each one of our speakers as we go along. Our first speaker tonight is Mrs. Orson. She's a mother of 2 Manuel Salinas Creative Arts Elementary students, both current and an alumni. Thank you, Mrs. Orson.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for listening to us tonight. So the first thing I want to say is, what do you say to somebody who asks you, what's the difference between the Creative Arts School and a class? Well, the difference that I like to explain to people is that a class introduces the program, correct? We have dance teachers now, drawing teachers, clay, different types of visual art things that are going on. Our school is unique. Our school is a lifestyle. Our school teaches from the get-go a certain program that stays with our kids for a lifetime. You are currently looking at the students today of our future. They're the ones that are going to be the designers. They're the ones that are going to take over this world. And this school teaches them different aspects that are going to help them through life. You all are a huge supporter to art. I see that as an employee of this school district. And I see the different programs that are being put forward. But I'm asking you to please don't forget the program that started it all. Please don't forget the vision that Manuel A. Salinas had for this school. In our community, and I say our community around our school, is very different. It's probably looked at low income, but our community is much bigger than that. We have students that come in all closer to Highland, all the way down to, down to Colton. So for us, our community is all of San Bernardino. And when we look at it, we look at how this is going to help our kids in the future. One of the stories I'd like to share is about my daughter, who's an alumni. She is one that fights with anxiety all the time. And it had caused major issues with her going through elementary school. But this school saved her. It saved her by teaching her the different lyrics of poetry and music. And at an early age of 2nd grade, she was starting to do that herself. During COVID, when she felt lost, she wrote her own screenplay, and she was in 3rd grade. She would not have been able to do that if it wasn't for this program. I'm trying not to get emotional because it's so important. And as you can see, our kids are here. My youngest daughter is in this program. And I just wanted to end off by sharing with you all what she talked to me about today, why this is important to her. And it wasn't about her. She talked about the kids that she works with in kindergarten and how she's sad that these kids missed out on an opportunity this year of not having that education that should have been given to them. So when you look back and when you start to hear, well, what's the difference between this program and the Vanguard program? I hope that it changes your mindset on things. I hope that you start to think of those kindergartners or TK kids who are going to be coming in, who are learning those dance programs that you are giving them, but you're going to give them a home and a school for them to go to at an elementary school level and then middle school and high school. I hope that you look at it as that you are giving these kids an ultimate new future and a bright future. Thank you.
You go ahead and pause. Mr. Tillman?
Yeah, thank you very much. When I came in tonight, I saw the signs and I asked some of the students, because one of them says save our arts program and fund the brush that paints their dreams, which it was a real concern to me because I thought somehow there were some cuts being made. But I talked to the superintendent and he assured me there's no cuts being made. So I just want to make sure the public knows that the district is not cutting money for arts at Salinas, and the district is not cutting funding for paintbrushes, because this board is wholeheartedly in support of those type of things in this district. Now, if something's happened to the contrary, you guys can let us know, but I just got reassured by the superintendent that there aren't any cuts being made. There was talk about a position not being funded, but then they found the money and the way to fund the position. So I just want the public to know that's viewing this on the internet and on TV that there are no cuts being made to the arts program at Salinas or anywhere else in the district. Thank you.
Mr. Arellano?
Thank you, Mr. Tillman. You stole my thunder. I don't know where the miscommunication happened, but as Mr. Tillman shared, there's been no direction by the board or by the superintendent to cut any program at Salinas. We very much support the arts. It's part of our multi-year vision. I believe the conversation happened was there was a position that existed at Salinas that was funded by a fund that no longer existed. And I believe it fell through the cracks. So when it came to Mr. Komnick and I, we knew that Salinas is a performing arts magnet. It's a specialty program that does address different skill sets. And we immediately made the decision to backfill that position. Plus, Manuel Salinas was a good friend of mine and a principal colleague, so he would kill me literally if I cut the program. But I do want to say thank you for being here, because it is important to have two-way communication. As you know, the multi-year vision also talks to us having two-way communication, so we appreciate you here. So to all the wonderful scholars and artists and performing artists, it's all good. It's going to continue on. So thank you. But please, we have your time here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that update. And I'll give it back to you because you still have 25 minutes if you want to continue after you've heard.
Definitely, yes. And we are so grateful for the support, but this is something that we have been missing this school year, and I know a lot of our family members would still love to speak to it. So, and our community members. And on that note, we have up next Professor Mango, who is a professor of world languages and cultures at Cal State San Bernardino, and she is the co-founder of the Al Najim project that was started at our school, Salinas. She's volunteered at Salinas for over 10 years, working with hundreds of our students, researching, interviewing dozens of the students, their families, on the impact of creativity and innovative teaching practices. Along with her will be Mr. Luis Bermillo. He is a Cal State San Bernardino student and intern, currently assisting Professor Mango and documenting the creative process. So thank you.
Good evening, and thank you for allowing us to speak with you today, and I really appreciate the support that you have just expressed. So my name is Oraib Mango. Mango like the fruit, yes. And I have been, we have a long-standing collaboration between Cal State University San Bernardino and Manuel A. Salinas for the Creative Arts. And this partnership has started more than 10 years ago. And currently, I'm working on a research actually with parents and families to find out and examine and investigate what their perceptions are towards art in school. And in particular, in the past 3 years, we have been working on a conceptual art project. And the early findings have shown that parents are very supportive and that they find that project in particular, but art in general, as very valuable and necessary for their students' growth. And instead of talking with you and giving you more boring details, we have some very interesting quotes from the research and also from students. And Luis Bermillo, who is a wonderful student who's assisting in this program, will be reading these quotes. Thank you so much.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Luis Bermeo, as Professor Mango just stated. So one parent shared, "This is the greatest thing that could have happened to her and to us, all parents. For my kids to be able to express themselves and then see other kids expressing themselves through art is important. They get to see there's more than one way to say what they need to say without feeling judged. Another added, it's something big, something huge. It's the beginning of a start, something that motivates kids to bring their ideas forward, to not be embarrassed or shy. And students themselves are speaking out in powerful ways. Quote, conceptual art can change the world. Look at us. We're fourth graders making art for museum and colleges. Another added, this Al Najm should be possible for other kids of all ages. And finally, making conceptual art has helped me realize that sometimes it's good to change. You don't want to be stuck being the same person forever. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate your support for the arts. Thank you.
Our next speaker is a mother of 4 Salinas children, Mrs. Ruiz. She was actually the recipient last month of the Special Board Acknowledgement for Outstanding Work with our school, and she'll be followed by an uncle from a current Salinas student, Mr. Marin, and he's also a Salinas alumni.
Good afternoon. My name is Jessica Ruiz. I am the mother of 4 children that have attended Salinas Elementary, each with very different learning needs. First, I want to talk about how Salinas has impacted my daughter, Emily Almanza Ruiz. Thanks to the music program offered there, and our wonderful music teacher, Mr. Londo, of course, she discovered the love for music and has made it into all-state, all-Southern County and city. The main reason I am up here is because I want to say how heartbroken I am to see over the past years our school has slowly fallen apart to the point where parents are pulling their kids out and transferring them to other schools, including myself. We have lost some awesome teachers and lots of wonderful programs like art, skip, poetry, and rotations that allowed my 3rd grader to attend 4th and 5th grade class. I feel that everything that has happened is due to terrible management and the lack of support for these programs and innovative ideas. Manuel A. Salinas Creative Arts Elementary is not the same without art and these great programs that make our school special. Thank you.
I'm sorry, I have a question. What was the name of the first program that you mentioned?
You said skip or?
Skip.
Skip poetry.
Skip, it was a program we attended over at Cal State where kids had a chance to socialize, and it was where we did, it was different things. That we worked with music, with poetry, with, they got to know different types of, how do you say, Mr. Bishop? I'm kidding. Sorry, I'm not good with speaking. He'll explain better.
Briefly, it was really complicated, but Skip started at Salinas and spread throughout the Inland Empire all the way to Riverside. It started off as a poetry program where MFA students would come in and tutor the class. At some point, it became more difficult to teach it at our school, and Professor Juan Delgado created a class at Cal State where it spread. It covered everything from screen printing to cooking to everything like that. We had a 1-hour radio show that reached 1 to 3 million people throughout the Inland Empire, and it's one of the programs that died on the vine. Thank you.
And one more quick thing, Skip, also I had a child that was having a hard time talking, and Skip helped him a lot. Like every time we attended, it helped him like start speaking out more. It was the first time. He was 2 years old already and he wasn't able to speak, and he was actually getting more into saying words because he was into this program where we would hang out with different ages, different kids, parents, everything. And it was like a little community together. And thanks to that, my child, it helped him a lot. Thank you.
So my name is Alex. I am a parent / uncle to a student at Manuel Salinas Elementary. The reason why I'm up here is because I was baffled that I found out that the kid that I love and everything is my everything to me didn't have art this year at all. when I went to that school, I had art from the 1st grade all the way up to 5th grade. So when I found that out, I was kind of shook because kids need a way to express themselves. If a kid doesn't have a way to express themselves, they'll find other ways, but those other ways never turn out so well. I should know because I went through that path. And I think the kids need a way to express themselves, really, to show the world what they think or what they do. I think it's wrong that this year there wasn't an art class, in my opinion. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you.
Our next parent speaker to speak on the fact that our art program has drastically changed this year versus previous years because we've lost our full-time art teacher who put on giant productions and taught all aspects of art, and now we've kind of gone the route of all the other schools, although we are an art magnet school. So our next parent to speak to that is Mrs. Reyes. Mrs. Reyes is the mother of 2 Salinas students, 1 former and 1 current.
Hello, good evening. Thank you for hearing us out tonight. I've had 2 children attend Salinas. My oldest, Violet, promoted 2 years ago. 3 years ago, she was actually here with me in this very spot. We were promoting the arts and promoting the very first conceptual art smart show put on by Mr. Bashirs and Professor Mango. Now she will be receiving her 2nd VAPA award at the end of this month, all because of her start at Salinas with the creative arts. My daughter Aurora is in the 5th grade at Salinas, and the lack of a permanent art teacher has made her last year there very different than she expected, based off of what her sister experienced. This loss put extra strain on our music teacher, Mr. Londo. He once offered percussion lessons to the 5th graders, but since he had to take on bigger projects like the Christmas performance, all on his own, he could no longer offer percussion to the students this year, much to the disappointment of many of the 5th graders. I also have a son who will be an incoming kindergartner. We live further away from Salinas, like the parents that were mentioned, closer to Highland. I originally chose the school about 6 years ago because of the creative arts. My kids were always into art more than athletics. So that was a major factor in our choosing the school and why I make that drive every day. With the loss of our art teacher and seemingly no replacement lined up, it caused my husband and I to consider possibly sending him to a school closer to home, because it seemed that there wasn't going to be any art class for him coming in. It's not what we truly want, as we have come to love the teachers and staff at Salinas, with our daughters attending all these years. I understand there's now being money allocated for the new art teacher, and I'm grateful for that. However, considering the art magnet status of Salinas, it took entirely too long for the issue to be addressed, and none of the parents were informed this year. I only found out about there being no art teacher from my daughter, who was very confused because her teacher last year said there should be a replacement for her. So I just hope this will not be an issue in the future. Children are naturally creative, and it's our job to give them the freedom, materials, and space to let their creativity blossom to its full potential. Thank you for your time.
Our next speaker will be Eric Servine. Mr. Servine is the program director and curator for the Garcia Center of the Arts. Mr. Servine is also a Salinas alumnus, and from the time back when we had our former principal, Mr. Manuel A. Salinas, when he created the arts program here. So, Mr. Servine.
Hello, good evening, board and cabinet, superintendent. My name is Eric Servine, and I was a former student of what used to be California Creative Arts Elementary School, back when Mr. Salinas was the principal. I remember Mr. Salinas being a very proactive principal. He was out there every day playing Foursquare with all the students. He was avid piano player, so he's also a creative. And I've been here my whole life. I'm also a product of all the school district has to offer, from elementary school up to high school. I graduated and went to the university up the street, California State University of San Bernardino. And I'm, I'm here to speak on behalf of the students and all the families, and just reiterate the importance of keeping art in the schools, especially for the students at such a young age. I am, could attest to that being of importance because it's what drove me to what I do today. I currently co-own 2 galleries in downtown San Bernardino, just a couple blocks away, right there on 4th and Court. And they've been in operation for the past 3 to 7 years, respectively. I also am the programs director at the Garcia Center for the Arts, where our mission is to sponsor, promote, and sustain the arts in our community. So I'm happy to say that at least, when I was growing up, there wasn't a lot happening in the city, but now, we can kind of be proud to say that we have started some sort of art economy, very in its infancy, but it's here. And there's a lot of creative individuals who have done a lot of positive things in our community, from advocacy to community engagement workshops. And yeah, it's just important to keep the young students active in the arts. And, we're appreciative that there was, an immediate reaction to the need in the school to replace the art teacher. So, hopefully we can have more support in the future to bring even more arts to the schools, and keep the students interested and wanting them to pursue a path in the creative industry. Thank you.
And our concluding speakers for this evening will be Mr. Bashirs and Professor Alex Avila. Mr. Bashirs is Emmanuel A. Salinas Creative Arts Elementary teacher. He has won the SBC USD Golden Apple Award for Teaching Excellence and also the California Teacher of the Year Award by the California Teachers Association. And then Professor Alex Avila is an economic developer consultant for the state and federal governments. He's a professor of English and children's literature publisher. He has served as a teacher for the Skip poetry writing program we discussed earlier, while an MFA student at CSU San Bernardino. Skip was an arts program originating at Salinas, like we discussed, and Cal State, later spreading to serve families throughout the Inland Empire.
Thank you for your time. Before I begin, I want to take a moment for gratitude. Principal Velasco has informed me that the money has been secured for a full-time visual and performing arts teacher. I'd like to thank the people behind the scenes because I know it's extremely complicated to find funding for this type of position. I also want to take a moment to thank the Salinas alumni, families, teachers, college professors, and students, and our community partners for showing up and speaking today. To see a sea of Salinas blue makes me happy. And in most cases, if there is an issue, we could become better as a result. And I think that's what's happening today. So sincerely, thank you. Love. What you see here is love. Love for our children and their families. I know there's some anger. Love for the impact art can make on a student and the learning environment. Love in the form of advocacy and democracy. Manuel A. Salinas Creative Arts Elementary is a magnet, and its magnet schools have raised not only children, families, college students, as you'll see with Alex, and teachers over the decades. Today, you witness a sampling of our learning community here to bring to your attention an issue that, before now, placed our arts program and magnet in jeopardy. For 155 days, we had no full-time art teacher. No functioning arts magnet program. We had lost our weekly art lessons. We had lost field trips to plays. We had lost the theatrical performances that once defined our learning community. For 155 days, our parents heard nothing. No reasons for this change, no updates on the situation. As of today, VAPA, nor any district representative, local or district-wide, has contacted our parents to my knowledge. Some of our families drive or bus our students from all over San Bernardino to deliver their child to a creative arts magnet that does not exist. And I can tell you right now, when you bring up the issue to a parent, it's a very uncomfortable position to break the news to them. Many of our families chose Salinas specifically for its magnet programs. Our learning community stands here before you today to request the following: clarity, communication, and commitment. It is unethical and not representative of our operating values to leave people in the dark. We know it's not intentional. However, there is a simple truth. If a community is unaware of its rights, that community does not have those rights. We ask for clarity on the matter to understand what went wrong. These things happen in systems, we understand, to make it better. We ask for commitment and support of all magnet schools. We ask VAPA to clarify their commitment as well. Number two, and this is what we're so grateful that you guys solved, we request a highly effective full-time art teacher. We ask for an art teacher that can bring the passion and expertise in the arts necessary to nourish the culture of our community. We ask that this wonderful teacher be selected by a committee representing the parents, the teachers, the administration, to ensure that we can all work together toward the hard effort of seeking the full potential of art. 3, we ask that the Board of Ed, Superintendent Ariano, and your dedicated staff to consider pairing school cultures with administrators, teachers, and support staff that share the same vision and missions as the schools and local communities they serve. I know we work toward that, but we're placing it in front of you again to consider. In the case of Salinas, we ask that all of our stakeholders support the Arts Magnet School we have and the GATE Magnet School that we have. Manuel A. Salinas Creative Arts School has witnessed too many programs die on the vine. In fact, this is the second time we've come before the board over the years to save our Creative Arts Magnet. The exact same thing happened about 10 or 15 years ago where the teachers came because of the same funding issue. We're grateful that the district resolved the problem then, and we ask humbly for your support now. Thank you for your time.
Isn't this beautiful, huh? Passion, love is something you can't fabricate. You can feel it in the room. You can see the kids. You can see the parents, the mothers, staff. This is something you can't fabricate. You can't fake this, right? This is a real community. This is how I became a professor. I was in grad school, and I actually lost faith in the school system. I thought it was a waste of time. Actually, I was going to drop out in grad school. And then Juan Delgado talked about a SKIP program. They were pioneering this program with Salinas, and you should come check it out. Some amazing parents, some amazing kids, and you're going to love it. And, you know, I just wanted to get out of the school. I didn't really want to, but he said, come one day, just come one day to check it out. And I came one day to check it out, and I fell in love. Not only did I fall in love, I changed my major to become a professor so I can teach SKIP. And I want to become the professor for the SKIP program and the coordinator. And I have some of my students here now who are going to be attending Ivy League schools, et cetera, et cetera. It's amazing. It's a fascinating program. Salinas himself was a fascinating individual as well. If you ever met him, he was a ball of energy. It was just like lightning bolt in the body. And also a person that used to come support and visit was Dr. Margaret Hill. She would actually come and visit with the parents, the students, and just meet and feel the love in the room. And I bring this up because right now we're living in sensitive times. Miscommunication, a misunderstanding, right now could be dangerous. The last thing we need is confusion when things are very volatile and highly sensitive. So we're here not because we want to attack. We're here because we love what this program represents and what it does for our community and for our children and for our family. So we just want to reiterate that. And I understand as an official, the tough job you have. And I'm not being facetious. When I got hired for the governor's office to work with GoBiz, my second day with the governor's office representing San Bernardino Riverside, my second day I got cussed out for 2.5 hours. And it was like, welcome to the job. And the person who was yelling at me, cussing me out, that wasn't even my district. I wasn't even in my region, but I had to sit and listen. I had to be patient. I couldn't interrupt. And you know, the first thing I said after getting yelled at and cussed out for 2.5 hours is I apologized. I took accountability. And I also started to contact who was the regional rep for that district to ensure that we continue the healthy communication and that there's no misunderstanding moving forward. That's how you build healthy community, trusting communities. So I say that to say that yes, your position is tough. So we're not here to point fingers, but we were here to make sure that in the future, there's no misunderstanding, right? Because we understand there are going to be program cuts. I know that. That's one of my things that I had to sit on and look at. Yeah, we're going to have to cut some programs here and there at the governor's office. We know how that works. But when you have a community that comes together through art, poetry, music, plays, you can't fabricate this kind of love. Dr. Margaret Hill used to say, the beauty about bringing communities like this is that it's disruptive and it's needed. It's what we need to stick together to communicate, to show love, and show how we exist in this community, in this world. So anyway, I bring all that to say that this program also has inspired my son, who's published 2 books. He's actually broken the Guinness Book of Records and International Book of Records. We can't make the announcement to September, but it's the arts that allows him to do this kind of stuff. He's only 7, right? And so I say that to say that if it wasn't for this program, these relationships, I wouldn't be here today. I wouldn't have the career I have. I wouldn't have the son I have. I wouldn't be as motivated as I am today and passionate about the educational system, the community of arts, and how we can transform our communities and be agents of change. So as education advocates that you are, we hope that we continue this open communication and we can expand the arts, right? We could expand it. And it doesn't have to be a silo. It's something that we can definitely grow and continue to support us as we continue to grow and figure out this pathway. And one of the things I did learn about that in the governor's office, that the future of AI robotics is here. But you know what's going to supplement that? Arts. The chair you sit on, the glasses you wear, the outfits artists design that. We are literally living in a world amongst artists. And we have to include them in our workforce, which we'll be doing it at the state and federal level. But here, right now, in this moment, we got pioneers, we got families, we got beautiful people and beautiful young people right here from Salinas. You want to shout out Salinas one time? You want to scream it one time? Or you want to shout out arts? What you want to do? You want to say arts? All right. You want to say we love the arts? You want to do that? It's kind of, you want to scream that right now? All right. Ready? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh no. See, that's why we need art programs. That's why we need art programs. Yeah, we need a full-time teacher. But thank you. We love y'all and we appreciate your time. And then, yeah, thank you. We look forward to progress and then any follow-up.
Thank you so much for hearing us out this evening. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank you so much for coming out. And on behalf of the board, we apologize for the miscommunication. Thank you for coming out and sharing with us and letting us know, because some of us weren't even aware. And so all of the questions that you have posed, if when we reach out, when we give them the answers, if we can maybe include that in the Friday update for us to also see, the responses to those questions that have been posed and asked. And nothing, thank you so much for coming. And I do have Mr. Santos for comment.
I just want to say I truly appreciate you coming out here. And the kids, the energy, they're still holding their signs. Always stand up for what you believe in. Their energy, thank you. Their parents, thank you for being here.
And then really quickly, so can I come to Skips? When does that happen? Where does it happen?
You can come Salinas to the art program, but Skip unfortunately had to get cut And this is why the sensitivity in terms of budget cut becomes frustrating, because these are parents who've been a part of the community for years. So we hope to revamp Skip in the future, but it has been canceled, of course, due to funding and yeah. So, but yeah.
How long ago was that cut? When did it stop?
This was maybe 2-3 years ago. I was the professor for the program, and then Kelly Dortch was the following professor after that. And then it's something that was happening through Cal State, and the partnership with Mr. Bashirs is one of the pioneers, and Juan Delgado. I was in the program when they were pioneering it, and we try to fight for it. But as funding goes, and then challenges with administration goes, it becomes one of those things. And there was a grant, a K through 12 grant that had $1 million that we were hoping to maybe gather to even apply, but that didn't happen either. So if you want to continue this conversation and revamp Skip, we still have some of the colleagues and some of the history and some of the folks around, and we can follow that up, and we'll be ecstatic to continue that.
Absolutely, I would love that. And I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Dr. Wyatt.
Thank you, Madam President, and thank you to everyone that came out tonight for advocating for our students, number one, right? That's the most important folks that we serve in our communities, our students. To our students, I have to echo what Mr. Santos said here. Wow, I am beyond impressed with your energy. It's the end of the day, and you are still going. You are, and your awesome signs. I imagine most of you made those awesome signs. And I've been a huge advocate for VAPA since I've been on the board. It's something that I have passion for. All arts, actually, not just the creative arts like this, but musical arts, the theater, you name it. And I hold us in high regard for our VAPA programs, and we excel at the highest level. I think some of you know that just recently, I believe 4 of our students from Ohio were recognized at the national level. Partnerships with Cal State San Bernardino, again, I really appreciate that. I know I've been over there and seen the art shows a few years back, and they've hosted those for us, as well as an orange show too. And I was really disappointed I didn't get that this year. The pictures this year, was that it for? I know, and I couldn't make it, and I usually do go to that every year. But to our staff, thank you as well for the amazing job that you do with our kids and tapping into their creativity and their talent. I'll say this, the drawing part I have 0 talent at. Music, little bit. But it takes amazing teachers to bring out the best in our students. So to our teaching staff, thank you as well. Our parents, thank you. I'm glad to hear that there was a little bit of miscommunication there, but we know right now how important that is to have clear communication with all of you as well as with the board too. So, you know, it took a lot of courage to come here tonight for our students and our families. So thank you to all of you. And again, I know this board here fully supports our VAPA programs without a doubt. But I just want to make sure that's heard loud and clear, and it looks like some of my colleagues are going to join me in that. So, thank you.
Ms. Abeles Grande?
How do you feel about the puppetry arts? Specifically, the old aging art of ventriloquism.
Okay, so I'm going to take this because I am actually a makeup artist, and I went to school in LA, and I do animatronics, and I still work in that field. It is my passion, but my biggest passion is my kids. And most important, I wanted to be a mom. So I actually am going to be helping with Broadway Now and their performances. And I am hoping to get into the CAPS program to actually teach a makeup class to some of the kids. But to speak on puppetry, I do know that as well, and how to make wigs. So there is all different aspects of art that is out there.
Mr. Tillman?
I too want to thank you all for coming out. I get concerned when I hear about issues in our arts program because I know how much we support it. When I drive throughout the district and I see students throughout our district walking home with instruments, it just means so much to me. Most districts in the state don't have a music program where any child can play an instrument starting in 4th grade all the way through high school. And we pay for every piece of it. The instrument, the instructors to do it. We have multiple sites, not just Salinas, that are magnets for music. My daughter went to Royal Valley, was a arts magnet. I watched her this weekend sing at Coachella along with the LA Philharmonic and a choir there. So I know it works, and I know the value of arts and music for our students. I know it saves lives. I know it allows them to be more competitive than students in surrounding districts because of all the benefits the arts provide our students. They even bleed over into making students better with mathematics and other things. We know that about through science. So we are 100% supportive of it. I encourage you, when you have issues, please reach out and call me as soon as possible. We're part of the process. And if we can solve those problems that benefit our students, that's what I'm here for. That's what my fellow board members are here for, to make sure they get the best opportunity to be successful. Thank you very much.
Ms. Alexander?
I'd like to say thank you all for coming out. And for our scholars that are out here, keep that energy. I support what my colleague said. It's awesome that you're out here. Keep advocating for what you think is right and what you feel is right. I had a question though. Mr. Bashir, you made a comment and I just wanted to get clarification. You said this is the second time the same funding issue came up and it was 10 years ago. I wasn't sure. I didn't understand exactly what you meant.
Yeah. Let's not rely on my memory for the dates, but we've had two wonderful art teachers, full-time art teachers that ran both weekly lessons and theatrical performances. Excuse me. The first was Gary Geis, followed by Sadlier, Miss Sadlier. There was a time where the teachers came up. I think it was like, now I'm the oldest teacher here, so I don't know if anybody remembers. All right. I used to be the young kid. Where we came in because the same thing, I think it was a TIG funding issue and the position wasn't filled. It was the same miscommunication, right? And then funding was found. So that happened. I can't give you the specific date, but it was Mr. Geis's position.
Okay. And then there was another comment that was made in reference to scholars' experience. I guess the kindergartners didn't receive any type of art lessons this year, or was it all?
Yeah. Anytime there's miscommunication, there's like a fog of confusion, right? And that's kind of where a lot of this comes. So technically, we have an art teacher, but it's not part of the magnet program. So what I believe the parent was saying, she could speak for herself if she wants, but we went from having weekly lessons from a very experienced in the arts art teacher to having what a lot of schools got. Now, don't get me wrong, and I think we all agree that the fact that the big grant came in and everybody gets art is wonderful. It's fantastic. But as a magnet school, special resources are allocated, and one of those is having somebody there. We still have a wonderful music teacher, Mr. Londo, who's probably the best you can ever consider, a very big advocate. But I think that's, the parent was talking about not having the kid coming into a weekly art class.
Thank you. And I just say thank you to even our community partners, our professors that came out, and families who came out and advocated for your scholars. Really appreciate it. And also alumni that came out as well. Been to your art gallery. It's very nice. So thank you for coming.
Ms. Rosales Medina?
I just want to say thank you for coming and bringing this to our attention. I know for myself growing up, the arts, I didn't really speak a lot in class. I didn't really connect with folks in school, but one thing I was able to connect was through my drawings and my painting, and my art teachers, or my teachers, were able to find a way to incorporate art within the lessons, and it stays with you. And as I'm an adult now, I do graphic arts, I do computer, and so you work also with space and you understand space, and so art is a very important trait, and it's also works the side of your brain, the right side of the brain, so that it just makes you whole and makes you better. So I appreciate it, and just like how the board members mentioned, we have to make sure that this doesn't happen again. But not only that, maybe there's opportunity now that you came here, is trying to look at those assets you made, Dr. Bashir. Also looking at the ask of how can we create a bigger and better program that is going to help with the visual arts and all the other aspects of the arts. So this may be that opportunity to really look at how we can improve things and make it even better from when it originally started. So thank you so much for coming down.
Thank you. All right, and I think that was all for our public comments. Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't see you. I'm looking down.
My apologies. I was not anywhere on the roster in here, but I am the proud principal to Salinas Elementary, and I wanted to come by and say thank you. Thank you to the board, and thank you for our cabinet, and thank you for the opportunity to actually speak this evening. While I have all my families here, all the teachers and parents, I wanted to be very explicit to the fact that there was a big transition that happened where Ms. Salier decided to move on to bigger and better things, if you think. And we do allow for those educators to move on and around the district. And as that transition, we also received a 228 prop funding for a arts and music and dance teacher, VAPA teacher. And so those teachers were put in place. And in my heart of hearts, the kids were receiving those services at all times, inclusive, and then our refocus in our school to the academic component. We want to make sure that our academics continue to shine through as well. And so I want to, again, thank the board and cabinet for taking time in a $50 million shortfall budget to finding, I'm not sure how much that's going to cost, but it's going to cost a pretty penny to ensure that that teacher comes to Salinas and serves our kids consistently and ongoing. So again, I think, and parents, you know, my door is always open. Many of you come in and they're always open. So I'm not really sure how this miscommunication might happen. I'm always there. I'm always available. Just like Mr. Salinas told me, be out there, be with the public, and I'm there. And so I'm here for you, board and cabinet, and parents. I'm here with you and for you at any time. All you have to do is let me know. Okay? Absolutely. Thank you so much for the extra time. I appreciate you.
Thank you. All right, so now we're moving to 4.0 public hearing. 4.1 public hearing and adoption of the tentative agreement successor between the San Bernardino City Unified School District and the Communications Workers of America, Local 9588. I will now open the public hearing. Are there any public comments?
There are none.
All right, this public hearing is now closed. Be it resolved, the Board of Education adopts the tentative agreement successor between the San Bernardino City Unified School District and the Communication Workers of America, Local 9588.
Moved.
It's been moved by Mr. Tillman and second by Ms. Alexander. Any discussion? Let's vote. Motion passed. 5.0 closed session, 5.1 closed session public comments. Or do we have any?
No, we don't.
All right, we will now adjourn to closed session. We are back. 6.0 action reported from closed session. 6.1 petition to expunge, rescind, sealing of record, or modify youth court or expulsion. Be it resolved, the Board of Education authorizes the expulsion and or youth court modifications, expungement, or rescinding of the following students with identification numbers as indicated below to schools of the San Bernardino City Unified School District in accordance with the board rules and regulations and in compliance with Education Code Section 48900.
Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Ms. Medina. Vote, please. Motion passed. 6.2 other closed session action. Be it resolved that the Board of Education accepts the resignation and general release agreements for the following classified employees, HR-class 24-25-11-ER.
So move. Second.
Moved by Dr. Wyatt, second by Mr. Tillman. Motion passed. Moving on to 7.0, student board members. 7.1, reports and comments by student board members, and I will hand it over to Ms. Villalbazo.
Thank you so much. So, good evening. My name is Sasha Villalbazo, and I am a representative from Middle College High School and Sierra High School. I want to begin by giving my sincerest gratitude to the Board of Education for a fantastic year so far. I also wanted to mention and give thanks to our digital media teacher, Mr. Enriquez, at Middle College High School for helping us produce an amazing recruitment video for the future student board members. We showcased this video to the Slack members during our Slack meeting yesterday, and the amount of engagement and involvement from them made me really excited and hopeful for the next school year. For Sierra High School, I wanted to give thanks to the Sunshine Group for taking initiative to focus on promoting a positive and healthy school environment. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that update. And then I got a request to go ahead and move 10.3, which is resolution approving the charter renewal for Woodward Leadership Academy up to up now on the board agenda. Can I get a consensus? All right, so we're going to go ahead and move that up. All right, so resolution approving the charter renewal for Woodward Leadership Academy on January 6, 2025. Jacqueline Johnson, lead petitioner for Woodward Leadership Academy, submitted a charter renewal petition to the Charter School Operations Department. A public hearing was conducted on February 4th, 2025 to consider the level of support for the charter petition. Be it resolved, the Board of Education approves the charter renewal petition for Woodward Leadership Academy for a 5-year term from July 1st, 2025 through June 30th, 2030.
Moved.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Alexander. Any discussion? Vote, please. Motion passed. Congratulations to Woodward. We got you guys up on the agenda so that if you wanted to go home and do homework, just kidding, you could. Next up is going to be 8.0 administrative reports and presentations, 8.1 STEAM presentation, and I will go ahead and pass it over to Ms. Applegate.
Thank you. So, Madam President Ceballos, Vice President Alvarez Grande, rest of our board, Mr. Ariano, cabinet, and our team, I am so excited. This is one topic that I've just been waiting to bring you because I think you're going to be wowed. And board, thank you for your vision and for your support and your dedication and helping us to prepare our kids for those jobs of the future that we don't even know exist yet. I think you're going to be quite impressed. It was about 2 years ago that Dr. Clyde came down to Ed Services by himself and joined me, and he was our new STEAM director. And specifically, I remember Mr. Tillman asking me one time, what exactly does a STEAM director do? What is he going to do? And that was a great question. So Dr. Clyde and I sat down and really had a deep discussion about what it meant to bring STEAM to this huge district. And one thing I remember telling him is, we really need to bring equitable experiences to increase the rigor and the quality of education and engagement for our kids, with the end goal being increased student achievement. And if that wasn't a huge, overwhelming task, but Dr. Clyde and his team did it. So board, thank you for your support. His team has increased. He's not a team of one anymore with his secretary, Ms. Campos, but now they are an actual team. And we have some of our best teachers who are his program specialists who are helping with the STEAM implementation. So with that, I will go ahead and hand it over to Dr. Clyde, and he will go ahead and get started. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Applegate. First and foremost, I want to thank the board, President Ceballos, Vice President Alvarez Grande, board members, Superintendent Ariano, and cabinet. I would like to thank you for your support of the STEAM program, as tonight we're going to showcase some of the progress we've made within San Bernardino City Unified. But first, I want to dedicate this to the people behind me because they're the real ones working. So I want to thank for the passion and dedication of my incredible staff that you see behind me. Chris Petrosione, Caitlin Arkawa, Bonnie Campos, Martha Yamas, Steve Hurst-Belinsky, Jackie Lacey, Javier Bravo, and Amber Rosales. It's because of them that we have the progress to share with you tonight. In addition, I would like to thank all the principals and educators at our pilot and support schools for their commitment to STEAM. I would also like to thank the various departments and directors, some of them are in this room tonight, throughout the district for their collaboration in ensuring that work is integrated and that we are meeting the needs of our diverse learners. And to our students, some of which you got to see tonight, hopefully earlier before the start of the board meeting at our STEAM showcase, for their incredible level of curiosity, perseverance, and innovative spirit. These students really can do anything, and it's happening right here in San Bernardino City Unified. So our objectives tonight, we're going to kind of highlight how our STEAM program is vertically aligned to our high school pathways, how they are experiences that are both rigorous and engaging, how we're integrating innovative technologies, and how we're collaborating with various departments throughout the district. Again, I would like to thank the board for your commitment to innovative teaching and learning by supporting STEAM education. Our students and team would like to show their appreciation with some small gifts that are being passed out to you right now. These trinkets in the bag were made at our STEAM lab at Rio Vista Elementary School. So there's a few things there for you in those bags. Our community of diverse educational partners affirmed the need of STEAM education as outlined in Vision 2030, SBCUSD Shines. It states science, technology, engineering, arts, and mathematics, robotics, and computer science are implemented at all grade levels and are embedded within district curriculum. This is no easy endeavor at all. And so, but we are confident to say that we'll be there by 2030. Here we have a timeline of kind of the progress we've made so far. So as Ms. Applegate stated, the department and STEAM initiative is relatively new initiative within SBCUSD, being established in February of 2023 with me starting at the position. In spring of 2023, we developed a vision and framework. From July to December 2023, We had some initial staffing and began seeking input and planning of our pilot program. From January to June of 2024, we had our first C-STEM cohort of teachers trained, and I'll explain that a little bit more later. We provided STEAM experiences and finalized our pilot program plan. And then August of 2024, which was this academic school year, we launched our pilot program. And in January of 2025, we had additional staffing, and now we are available for district-wide support. And today, until 2030, we continue to plan to expand our programs to various schools, embed within district curriculum, and expand our computer science access. Our vision, so with the establishment of the department in the spring of 2023, a STEAM steering committee of diverse educational partners was convened to set a vision. And from the start, as Ms. Applegate stated, her and myself were in agreement and adamant that the STEAM programs had to be for all our students and not restricted to some schools or specific student groups. And so that vision reads, and this was done with that steering committee, to provide equitable and inclusive STEAM experiences where all students engage in interdisciplinary learning driven by inquiry, creativity, and innovation in order to prepare them for college and career. The committee was adamant about the terms equity and inclusion being included within our vision because we wanted this to be something for every single student, not just some. And also that concept of vertical articulation. We have strong pathways at our high schools, and these are things that we're very proud of, and we wanted to make those connections to our middle school and elementary experiences. So as part of this vertical articulation, you'll see at the bottom, we have our TK12 continuum that describes the profile of a STEAM student. So our TK2 students are STEAM tinkerers, where they engage in purposeful play. Our grades 3 to 5 students are STEAM explorers. Our grades 6 to 8 are STEAM applicators. And then our 9th to 12th grade students are STEAM technicians. So STEAM, what is that? One of the nice things about being in the STEAM department and looking at all the research, it's whatever you want it to be. And so part of our work is, we know that STEAM stands for science, technology, engineering, arts, and math, but STEAM is the integration of those disciplines. And so here in SBCUSD, we define that as computer science, which integrates technology, science, and mathematics, engineering and manufacturing, which integrates technology and engineering, digital arts and design, which integrates technology and the arts, and innovations. Technology is forever advancing, and staying on the cutting edge is an essential part of STEAM. These 4 areas are then integrated with supporting themes. You'll see that in yellow on the screen, that expose students to various pathways and prepare them for college and career. Those are health science, public safety, transportation, business, environment, and education. So the department has provided guidance for schools in developing, maintaining, and enhancing site STEAM programs through the development of a framework and guide. These resources provide guidance in STEAM for all, 21st century readiness, standards-based learning, implementation guidance, K-8 STEAM school criteria, equipment and resources, and budget alignment. The STEAM guide is constantly evolving, okay, as we know technology is evolving, and our team is constantly looking for cutting-edge technologies to incorporate in our schools. So this slide here kind of just shows you some of the progress that we've made so far. 21 of our schools are currently implementing C-STEM, which I'll explain a little bit more here. 15 schools are piloting our STEAM Lab curriculum. We provided 48 STEAM FOMO events, 32 community events, 46 sponsored field trips. And then up to the graph on your right, you'll see the progress we've made with the number of active labs and programs during the regular school day at our schools. You can see since we've started, we've steadily increased those numbers, and we project a significant increase next year as we continue to expand.
What does FOMO stand for?
FOMO stands for fear of missing out. Yeah, so those events are intended to, we're working with Dr. Baikandova and her department to, create a day where it's a STEAM day at a school site, promote it, so no kid is wanting to miss school that particular day. Imagine like a field trip at school. So tonight I'll be highlighting a few of our programs. These programs are what I like to call serious academic programs that are both engaging and rigorous. One of our program models is our STEAM lab in the elementary and middle schools. The initial 9 pilot elementary and middle schools were identified on the school based off of the school serving our highest needing population. This was using our UPP count, or our unduplicated pupil percentage, which included EL students, low SES students, and foster and homeless youth. So those schools were identified and were offered the pilot opportunity. In addition, we supported some level of implementation with 8 supporting schools. These schools reached out to us and stated that they were ready to do some type of STEAM programming, and we were excited to support them. In our elementary labs, all of our K-6 students receive weekly lessons, and in our middle school students have a STEAM elective class. And I want to give credit to the board for providing the resources and support for making this happen. So this would not be possible without your support. We really appreciate that. Within these labs, we've developed curriculum. So there's a lot of things out there that advertise themselves as STEM programs, STEAM programs, and here's all these resources. And when you really look at it, they're fun, but they're not academically rigorous. And so we've developed curriculum that is. So these STEAM labs have curriculum guides that integrate innovative technology, are engaging, and provide rigorous standards-based instruction that are aligned to our district's curriculum guides. Each one of these units is aligned to an NGSS standards, or Next Generation Science standard, and integrates one other standard, whether it be computer science or the media arts standards. In addition, these unit guides have embedded structures of support for our diverse learners, such as our multilingual learners and our students of special needs. To give you a little example of what some things are learning, these are just a few. In 2nd grade, here you can see we had students making green screen videos, visiting different landforms, reinforcing their academic vocabulary aligned to their science unit. In 5th grade, they designed and printed a 3D model to solve a problem of water filtration. And in middle school, students engage in a wide array of learning experiences you see listed here that expose them to a variety of career areas and high school pathway connections. Another STEAM program that we're very proud of is our integrated computer science program, specifically here, CSTEM from UC Davis. CSTEM integrates the principles of coding and robotics with Common Core mathematics. This tight standards integration makes math fun and has shown promise as an approach to increase student math achievement. In addition, CSTEM can be integrated into other content areas, such as ELA, science, and history, where students can code animations to tell a story. We were pleased to actually have our first robotics competition last month, where 60 students comprising 12 teams had the opportunity to compete with other students in this competition. And I know that's something that Mr. Ariano had celebrated earlier. I'll go ahead and pause for a question.
Thank you, Mr. Tillman.
Question about the whole subject of coding, because I was surprised to hear one of the technology leaders in the country say that coding is going to go out soon. Are you guys hearing that? And they're saying that because AI is going to be writing the code?
So you can have AI write code, but you have to be able to read that code, right? And understand, is it asking you to do what you need to do? So you may not need to spend as many hours writing code, but you should be able to read code. So no, it's not something that's going to go away. It's going to, just like AI helps everyone else do their job more effectively, it's going to help computer programmers do their jobs more effectively and timely.
It almost sounds like, though, they're really talking about you be able to talk to a computer and say, write a program to do X, and it's going to do the whole thing. I mean, literally, they said that it's going to go away. I just want to make sure we're looking at the next step in terms of, I agree, it's going to be a human being that has to have idea of the logic and be able to ask the question, right? But in terms of specific being able to write code, it may be a thing of the past. There's something to think about.
Yeah, and it's the good way to look at it is we can also ask ChatGPT to write us an essay, but we still have to know those skills, right? And be able to read literature and understand. And so it's the same concept. We don't have to write all the code, but we have to be able to analyze, is this code asking us to do what we need it to do? And even AI could be biased, and it's not perfect. And those are some things I'll highlight. One of our students in the background here just actually won 3rd place at the county science fair for researching, the bias, gender and racial bias of AI. So we know that. A computer program doesn't always know that. So those are things our kids are learning in our labs and within our program.
Ms. Alexander?
How about 3D technology? Is that part of what we're...
Yes, so all our students are learning 3D technology. And what they're learning most is how to use programming to develop and create 3D prints. And then, a printer is just like any other printer. It's what you create on the backside that is the most important. So our students are engaged in that kind of learning.
Thank you.
So in addition with CSTEM, we have our 60 students who are participating in that robotics competition, something we're very happy about, and we plan to expand that to more throughout the year next year. So here you see a picture of a group of our cohort of teachers who were trained. We have 21 schools with 1 or more CSTEM teachers and 56 trained teachers and growing, and we're excited about that. This is not a joke. This is a rigorous program. Many of these teachers are going for their computer science authorization, which is a 2-year process. It is a very rigorous process, and they are excited and dedicated. And next year, we plan to host the Southern California districts at the 2026 CSTEM Symposium. Recently, we had 7 educators present at the recent symposium where they got to share their levels of implementation. So we were happy to kind of showcase what we're starting to do here in San Bernardino Unified when it comes to CSTEM. A third STEAM program I would like to highlight is our video literacy. The program integrates video production with literacy standards. This provides students different and creative ways of showing their understanding and what they know. In one of the pictures, you'll see a student right there in front of what we call a rapid MOOC, where they're using that to record their videos. In the primary grades, students use it to develop their reading fluency, utilizing digital decodable books from our ELA curriculum. So we're working really closely with our partners in elementary instruction, Dr. Coker here, to kind of make literacy more innovative and exciting for students. Students can showcase their creative writing, informative presentations, and engage in readers' theater. And next year, we're really excited about taking this work with our deaf and hard of hearing educators at Palm Elementary to really see how this tool can really help us with engaging in literacy when it comes to our DHS students. And technologies, people are always curious, what sorts of things are these students engaged with? And so we have a variety of innovative technologies. You can see the list here, and this is not even everything, but I'll just highlight a few things. The Nero NED2 robotic arm allows students to code a robotic arm to do various industrial tasks using Python or block coding. Many of the jobs are now being automated using robotic arms, and programming this is a growing industry. The Litex AR/VR, formerly known as CoSpaces, allows students to design in augmented and virtual reality space. This allows students to be creators using AR/VR technology and coding to express their learning rather than simply being consumers. With Lego Spike, students engineer and code robotic solutions to real-world problems, applying the engineering design process in hands-on building. The Bamboo 3D printer brings students digital designs to life, enabling them to prototype and test solutions to real-world problems through iterative design. And the Proto Hologram is used to create showcase lifelike 3D holographic presentations, combining storytelling, digital design, and multimedia skills to share their learning in innovative ways, just to name a few of the things here on this list. And our schools have done some phenomenal work, and within our framework, we have a STEAM school criteria for schools to undergo designation. Think of this as something being very similar to our linked learning recognition for high schools. The state does not have anything yet, even though they would like to do something. There are vendors who offer something, but it's based off of their program or their tools. So we went and developed something similar to like LA Unified has, San Diego County Office of Ed, the state of Ohio, and we've developed our own. And we are proud to say we have 19 schools who have STEAM designation within San Bernardino State Unified, and you can see them here. And next year, we have multiple schools who will be eligible for level 3, the highest level of designation, which is no easy feat, but we're confident that the progress they're making, that they will be that they will be there. And just so you know, what does level 3 mean? It means all kids at your school. It's a culture, it's a lifestyle at your school. And so we're super excited. We know that these schools will be able to get there. So these schools, I want to thank them. I think maybe some of their principals are watching tonight, and we'll have something more formal for them at another time. In addition, our department provides field trips and experiences because STEAM is also a culture. It's something you want to live and espouse to. And so we support with field trips and experiences. We have facilitated 48 FOMO STEAM events, right? Those fear of missing out events, such as building and launching paper rockets and using math to predict distance and speed. Others include circuitry, robotics, and more, with grades as low as kindergarten. We have supported with 46 field trips with partner organizations such as Cal State San Bernardino and Skyland Ranch with the Girl Scouts of San Gorgonio. We even had 10 students, that you can see pictured here, go to Stanford University for the Global Innovation Race, where they learned alongside 100 students from around the world to learn about AI and received a certification in AI from Stanford. This coming summer, we will be sending 30 middle school students to Boston and New York, where they will learn about STEAM and explore STEAM programs on college campuses such as MIT and Harvard. These students will also engage in hands-on STEAM workshops throughout the industry with industry experts. And I'm also pleased to say that STEAM is happening at all our schools before and after school, thanks to the work of our phenomenal EXL staff and Director Pearson. Early on, it was the EXL department that took the lead in providing our students rich and engaging STEAM learning experiences. Today, our two departments collaborate closely to bridge our day and after hour programs. We are working also with Enchanted Education to provide engaging STEAM experiences within our STEAM labs, so that these STEAM labs are not just happening during the regular school day, but are happening after school as well. We're working closely with Expanded Learning and San Bernardino County Schools to adopt curriculum for our esports at our middle school sites. And we have worked with them to help train their after-school staff by presenting and training at their training days and at their symposiums. Finally, we were able to expand participation in the district science fair by offering these opportunities after school as well, with one of our 6th grade students at Lato Creek Elementary School, who was here at the showcase today, placing gold at the county and going to the state level. Unfortunately, she didn't make it all the way, but she made it all the way to state, and that's something we're very proud of. We've also engaged in 32 community events. Thanks to family engagement and Dr. Gonzalez, we have been able to share our STEAM vision and engage with families and community these STEAM experiences. One highlight is our monthly book and build, where 250 kits are sent out every month to families who sign up. And there's a 1-hour virtual interactive session with an engineering challenge tied to a book. And then now we have some highlights, so quick video clip, and then we'll kind of share some next steps.
Cause you're a sky full of stars. I'm gonna give you my heart. Cause you're a sky full of stars. Cause you light up the path. I don't care who wanna tear me apart. I don't care if you do. 'Cause in the sky full of stars, I think I saw you.
So just a few highlights from what's happened this year. And coming down is what some people call the creepy dog, but we know it as Gizmo. And so just so you can see, you probably saw it in the video, was here during the showcase as well. And so here we have one of our high school students, Anthony Perez Hernandez from Cajon High School, controlling the robotic dog named Gizmo. Anthony attended our Stanford trip last summer and recently took third place at the county science fair with his project on gender and racial bias in generative AI. So we incorporate Gizmo within our FOMO events to engage and excite our students with innovative technology and understanding computer science, robotics, and coding. So it's just a fun little engaging tool for our students to kind of use in our events. So it's not the creepy dog, it's Gizmo. Thank you, Anthony.
You give it commands. Sit. I'm kidding.
You got it? Oh, it's in dance mode right now, I think. Thank you, Anthony. Appreciate it. So what's next? So as we continue this work, we plan to expand our STEAM Lab model to more schools. We're also exploring a mobile STEAM Lab model because at some schools, their facilities challenged. They don't always have a room available. So we're exploring that push-in model. Integrating STEAM experiences more within all classrooms. So we're developing a resources website that teachers can use to help incorporate and integrate STEAM into their instruction. We're going to continue expanding opportunities to all our student groups. So we're working closely right now with our special education department so that we can reach all of our students, not just some of our students. And when we say special ed, we mean every single special ed student. And so we want to make sure that they get those STEAM experiences as well. Working closely with our multilingual department as well. Expand our computer science experiences, including adding an additional cohorts of our CSTEM program. Continue to present at local and national conferences. My team has been presenting all the work we're doing out there, and we're getting great feedback. And increasing our competitions, whether it's RoboPlay and Invention Convention. But overall, based on our initial level of implementation, our visits to other districts, we also want to be the best. So we got to go out there and see who's calling themselves the best and seeing what they're doing. Our feedback from other presentations that we've done at conferences, we're confident in stating that SBCUSD is leading the way in STEAM and that we will be a model at the state and national level very soon. And this would not be possible without the support of you, board, and of course, my wonderful, phenomenal team here, and of course, the dedication of our educators at school sites, and of course, the wonderful students within our district. But we know our STEAM programs will help make SBCUSD known as a serious institution of academics. And it's all happening right here in San Bernardino Unified. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mr. Tillman.
Great presentation. You mentioned the proto hologram and some of the coding that you guys do in the robotics. Do we have any competitions inter-district amongst the different schools?
Not yet, but that's one of the things we really want to do next year. When I say increasing those competitions, is that's going to be the next level of work, is increasing those competitions within our school sites.
So I would like to see you guys do something district-wide where we have the competitions at the different grade levels.
Yeah, absolutely.
And something that's impressive though, and then have the winners come down and present to the board.
Okay.
And whatever it takes to do it, it'd be, outside of this, we'll find the funding, Terry will find the funding to do it. But maybe pick 3 different areas, even if it's 3D printing, but do something where you set up a competition, have the schools compete, and then we have them come down and present the winners here and let us see what their production is. But I think if the friendly competition would just make all the students better. I think we lose sight of the fact that we do it with sports, we don't do it with anything else. And I really think the competition will spur and excite our students to work harder just so they can have the title of being the best. So if it starts internally, it'd be easier for us to compete outside the district also. I just hope we look at doing that.
I agree, and we will make sure to do that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alexander.
Thank you so much for your presentation. I just had a couple questions or just better understanding. For the sponsored field trips, who qualifies for them, and how do we support
That's a
them?
great question. So it is being funded with our ELOP dollars. So we did advertise it to all our middle school students. So we did do it as a middle school thing within our within our EXL program. So we advertised it that way. Students submitted an application. They had to create a video. We did a little STEAM activity. So they created a video showcasing why they felt like this was an experience that would benefit them. And then we had developed a rubric and criteria for scoring it. Based off of all of those, they were given a score, and then they were put into like a lottery type thing.
Okay.
And so that's how they were identified.
Okay,
So it was open to all of them as long as they were active in our EXL program.
This, I know it's her time, but what is ELOP and what is the?
Expanded Learning Opportunities Program. Yeah,
Well,
Expanded
'cause
Learning
you-
Opportunities
We
Program.
have the public watching.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan. I wanted you to expound a little bit on the opportunities where the students can go to Stanford, and I think you mentioned Harvard. How does a student qualify, and what are the requirements? I guess that's the same question, but who has access to that?
So for that, what I just described was for that particular program. Yeah.
Okay.
But for other field trips, for example, like Skyland Ranch, we open those to our 4th and 5th grade students at various school sites. And we just said who would like to go. And that's how it kind of went from there.
Okay. And then one more question in reference to, it was the video literacy. So, I noticed early literacy, but I was just wondering, what other opportunities are there for students that maybe have for special education or for English learners or for students that process information differently? So do you have maybe video literacy to appeal to students that might be in those categories?
This is the perfect tool for that. So this is exactly what this tool is intended for those students who can show learning in a different way. And so we see video literacy as being that opportunity, not just always the traditional way of doing things, reading a book or writing an essay. They still have to do those things, but is there other ways they can show their learning? And we see this tool as supporting in that.
So the technologies that you have listed here would provide, is that where you're highlighting?
Yes.
Maybe there's some diversity and
Absolutely.
capabilities?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you.
No problem.
Ms. Medina?
I just want to say I appreciate the presentation, and I'm really excited that we're also visiting the universities. We're actually taking them outside and really exploring and just bringing this example for those that are going to watch online. It's really neat. You did mention several universities. Have we gone to Caltech as well? It's here in California, or is that a little bit more difficult?
Not yet, but those definitely are on our list as we continue thinking of more programs and experiences for our students, but we haven't yet. So,
Okay.
But definitely on the list.
Oh, okay. And I know it's really hard to get in, but just for the students to see what it might look like in those classroom environments, and it's here closer. Not that exploring other states as well and other areas, but I'm really excited. This is really nice to see. Thank you for bringing this forward.
Can I ask one other question? The robot you brought down, so you take out the box and does that, or how much of that had to be coded and how much is that just controlled by the remote control?
Yeah, so it comes with quite a few programs already coded in it, and then you can use Python coding to, of course, have it do other things. But it works kind of like a remote control car, and it's, so.
Thank you.
Awesome. Well, I think those are all the questions that we have. I just want to, again, also say thank you so much for the wonderful presentation. And we look forward to the next presentation that you come, the next time that you come to see all of the wonderful things that you guys are expanding to level 3. Hopefully we'll see some schools on the list. So thank you so much to you and your team.
Thank you.
President Ceballos, if I may, I just want to make sure to thank Dr. Clyde because he was a one-man team. And thank you, Mr. Tillman, again, for all the questions and for believing in this position, because I remember bringing it 3 years ago and you had many, many questions. So thank you, board, for your vision. I think it does our hearts good to watch our kids. Our kids can compete with anybody. And I'm so proud of them and proud of the teachers. So I also, again, wanted to publicly thank Dr. Clyde and his team. Thank you for everything.
Thank you so much. All right, moving on to 9.0 board discussion. 9.1, the Links Incorporate is 47. Will do. So Mr. Tillman's recusing himself. His wife is president, and Ms. Alexander is a board member. All right, so 9.1, the Links Incorporated's 47th Annual Scholarship Breakfast Ball. This was brought forward by, I received an email from Ms. Alexander. So I don't know if anybody wants to initiate discussion on this item. Ms. Medina?
First of all, I want to say thank you to also Ms. Cunningham, who was able to give us some idea of what in the last 3 years or 2 years it was. And I can't recall, I'll look in my email, but last year, how much did we contribute? I know it was in that list as well. Do you remember? 5, was it 5?
Yes, it was 5,000, and they took out $750 to purchase the table.
Okay.
Out of the 5,000.
Out of the 5,000, okay. And was that the first year that we've done it? Was last year the first year?
I can't say for sure if we did 5,000, but I know we have in the past years sponsored the students. I think it was like $1,250 for each student, right? And we usually had 2. So we didn't do like a 5,000. We just gave the kids flat rate.
1,250 meaning 1,250? Okay, times 2, okay. And I would support what we gave last year if that's the case. And I know typically I'm really critical, especially trying to make sure that we're not, you know, just asking these items to be on the agenda without really looking at if it's really helping our students or not. So if we were able to do this last year, and I believe this is intended to help our students here in the district, right? No?
I would assume so, but I'm unfamiliar with the organization myself personally.
I do know that I was told that we have 2 students that are from our district that are getting scholarships.
From
So if you-
Cajon and San Bernardino High
Thank you,
School.
yeah, correct.
Okay, hold on. Okay, Dr. Wyatt? Oh, Mr. Santos. Oh, okay. Say it into the mic.
I need to recuse myself because my son is is the award winner at Cajon for the scholarship.
Dr. Wyatt?
Thank you, Madam President. And there's 4 of us now, so that makes the conversation even more interesting. I know that 2 years ago, I think we sponsored scholarships in the amount of $1,250 each, as we heard, $2,500. I don't know why it went up last year. You know, it went up obviously more. And yeah, I know we're being a little more critical of these sponsorships as well. And last time around, I had to recuse myself from 2 of them, which I understood. And I think, as usual, just transparency is important when we do this process, but I'd also say consistency on, what we're looking at, and then what's the return on, our, I would call it like an investment or a contribution to the organization. For example, I believe Young Visionaries, correct me if I'm wrong, that was 3,000. Is that what we voted on? I don't even know. I wasn't during the conversation. I didn't check, but I guess what I'm trying to get to is what's the impact it has on our students and our community, right? Overall impact. And I know we've given ranges anywhere from a couple $100 all the way up to 10,000, depending on, I think, really the number of students it impacts as well. And so I would just recommend to the board that we keep that in mind when we make these sponsorships, as we call them, for any organization, let alone this organization. And I think another concern that was brought up to me is these organizations are here to hopefully promote students, student wellness, student success, student achievement, going on to higher education opportunities, but are we funding those scholarships as well? And if we are funding those scholarships, then do we have our own means to fund scholarships outside of this organization, right? All organizations. And I know we're very fortunate to have presentation on the Making Hope Happen Foundation. And you heard the return on that, millions of dollars for our students. And so I think we just need to keep that in mind when we look at organizations and sponsor organizations is, what's the return on it and how many students it's impacting. Thank you, Madam President. And I would support the majority of the board on our decision, but I would say it'd have to be from 2,500 to 5,000. Thank you.
Ms. Abeles Grande?
Well, I look at there was two full scholarships from two different high schools, and I'm comfortable with the $5,000. We've been giving those to other organizations all year, and I don't feel like, I feel like it's been really hard for all organizations this past year. Coming back from COVID, they've had a hard time finding sponsors everywhere. We've always been that one thing that they could count on for us, and I just feel that it's the right thing to do. We give to the Headdress Ball. We gave to, Mr. Mauricio's big award ceremony. We were generous. Well, I don't know, but this goes directly to children, to students, and these are our jewels. These children are our jewels, and I want them to know that. I want them to feel that, and they're getting ready to go to college, and it's a psychic salary, if you will. And so I'm comfortable with doing that, the 5,000.
Are those all your comments, Ms. Abeles? Ms. Medina?
You know what? I'm so glad, Dr. Wyatt, that you did mention that, because that's always been, it feels like every single time we bring something forward. And I was trying to think of, sometimes I push back a lot, but it's because I feel sometimes like we're just doing so much. And then I agree to your point. We're investing basically on the same amount, or if not more, than what our students are getting back. On the opposite end, like what was presented earlier from the foundation, Making Hope Happen, they're invested, in the millions. And in these cases, it feels like there's so many outside agencies, and maybe they're within. I have to look more into maybe looking at policy. Maybe there's something that we can really monitor and what that really looks like when it comes to how much are we doing, and if we even if we don't do, like, what was it you said, 1,200 times 1,250 times 2, so easily that's 2,500. If so, it's between the 2,500. Maybe we could do the 3, and instead of the 5. So I don't know, Ms. Ceballos, what are your thoughts on this? Maybe hearing your thoughts as well.
Yeah. So I was one of the people that was really supporting board policy, and we met and we developed some sort of policy criteria. Maybe it doesn't seem like it's really made an impact in any which way, and the way we have been going about providing sponsorships. Me personally, I don't know a lot of these organizations, and that's why last board meeting, when I made the comment, which I was very appreciative and very thankful that Nikki from Making Hope Happen Foundation came out and, shared a brief report with us in terms of, what they're doing with the money that, part of the money that we are supporting their foundation with. And so I had told myself that that would be the last sponsorship that I myself personally would support. So that meant that anything moving forward, and that was before, this came up, obviously, I had already told myself it was going to be a no flat across the board, just because unless, I had more information, and it was substantiated and validated that, what it is that we're doing with this money. I personally have a very difficult time with scholarships in particular, and I'm going to tell you why. Just like Dr. Wyatt has mentioned, if we're interested in providing scholarships, I think that we should allocate some funds internally and put money aside specifically to provide scholarships. We can establish what the criteria is. We can distribute the money across the different high schools that we have in place more, in my opinion, more equitably, where we have a little bit more control in terms of how the criteria is established. I'm not saying, anything about the criteria that these organizations put forth, but money that's going specifically for scholarships, I would like to see it, how do I say this nicely? If I want to set a foundation that gives out scholarships, then I need to raise money, right? Opposed to just going out and asking for money, and then I don't even know if we get recognized. I mean, maybe we do, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, how much are these recipients and their families and the community member, do they know, where this money is actually coming from? So I would like to, maybe selfishly, I would like for the district to get a little bit more credit, and I would like for us to establish a fund to provide scholarships. Now, if it's and I appreciate Dr. Wyatt's comment of overall impact, right? Like, what is this organization? What is the overall impact? Like he said, Young Visionaries, like I see them everywhere. They actually provide, resources to our students, events and things like that. Like I actually see them in the community. I don't know about a lot of the other organizations. I'm less familiar with them. And so now I feel a little awkward, to be frank, because I had told myself that I would just vote no. So then that leaves the three of you, because the other three are can't vote. So anyway, those are my thoughts. So yeah.
We vote?
I think we have to make a motion.
There has to be a motion.
I'll make a motion to vote.
For what?
For $5,000. Is there a second?
I don't think there is a second. So I'm going to go to Dr. Wyatt.
Thank you, Madam President, and I will say thank you to Ms. Grande for making that motion, and your comments as well, Madam President. Now, we have sponsored this event in the past. I think we're looking for, I don't want to use the word compromise, but I think it would be a fair agreement based on the decisions we've made recently as well. 2,500 is the amount that would cover, obviously, 2 scholarships, at least in the past. I don't know what the amount is now. And then we also, I believe, part of that money we sponsored last year went towards a table too. So I think a fair compromise, and even still a very substantial one, would be for the amount of $3,250, which would cover 2 scholarships and still a table that we could send individuals to also participate in the event. Obviously, we heard that one of our colleagues, his son, received a scholarship. It would probably be nice if he could attend that event. Maybe he'd buy his own ticket, I'll say that just on the record, but still, if he wanted to go as a representative of the district, he could. And what parent wouldn't want to do that? I know if it was me, I would want to do that as well. So I think it'd be nice that we'd still purchase a table as well as honor what we've done in the past of sponsoring those 2 scholarships. And that would be my recommendation. I'll wait till Ms. Rosales Medina is done with her comments, and I would make a motion on that. Thank you.
Ms. Medina?
I would second that, with also the caveat that we go back, maybe the policy committee can look at, because I know that, we're looking at several board members making a lot of these requests, and maybe we just be mindful, are there people that are connecting more with certain board members, so I would like that as well, to try to have the subcommittee meet.
All right, so are you seconding? Did you second?
I did not make a motion,
Oh.
but I would motion to make the amount for $32.50 to support the organization, Links Incorporated.
So there's a motion for $32.50 from Dr. Wyatt, and then there's a second from Ms. Medina.
Can I ask a quick question? Did you say $32.50, but we were going to purchase a table out of that?
Oh, yes, thank you, Ms. Cunningham. $32.50 would be inclusive of the table. Yes, ma'am.
Ms. Rosales Medina?
Motion passed. Can we let the rest of our board know? Thank you. Ten point oh action items, 10.1 personnel report number 17 dated April 15, 2025, which contains actions such as hiring, retirements, resignations, promotions, and terminations.
As presented.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Alexander. Motion passed. 10.2 adoption of resolution approving and authorizing rate span changes at George Brown Junior Elementary School and Arrowview Middle School and
President
delegating.
Ceballos?
Yes.
Can I just interrupt? That was pulled.
Oh, you're right. So sorry. Thank you so much. 11.0 consent items. 11.1 approval of consent list.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Tillman, second by Ms. Medina. Are there any items to pull? Seeing none, vote please. Motion passed. 12.0 reports, comments by union organizations. 12.1 San Bernardino Teachers Association.
No report.
12.2 California School Employee Association.
No report.
12.3 Communications Workers of America.
No report.
12.4 San Bernardino School Police Officers.
No report.
13.0 Reports and Comments. 13.1 Board Members. And I will go ahead and start to my right. Mr. Tillman.
Now, I would like to look for consensus to maybe agendize or somehow talk about the awards we give for employees. I know it was a concern. You know, when I got my award at the county, it was every 5 years. It was based on your start date. So I started in 1980. By the time I got to 2020, I got my 40-year pin. That's what this is. But it was based on my start date, not a year after. Right now, we're giving, I believe, employees their pins after 1 year after the year. So it's not based on the start date. It's based on the next year. I think it's because of the way we do the retirement system. But I just think we should change it so that we're giving the awards based on the start date. If you think about it in terms of when we celebrate the independence, in 1776 through, well, when I did it was, the big one was what? 1976. So it wasn't 1776 through 1977, right? So I just hope we look at that. Maybe if we need board consensus to bring it back, then we do that, because it should be based on the start date. It's the anniversary date, the date that you actually started at the district.
All right. And I just want to acknowledge that on Monday, April the 7th, many of us attended the Public Safety Building groundbreaking, and Chief Polino made an awesome comment and asked all of the public officers, both from the city, the school district, as well as the highway. There were several representatives there, and just seeing how we're working all together in some ways. And so I was really excited to be there and be part of that moment. And that's it.
Ms. Alexander.
Thank you. I'd like to first start off with acknowledging Mr. Komnick and his staff for, there was a constituent that called and complained about the mural at Holcomb Elementary, and he immediately took action and updated the mural to represent what was acceptable to the constituent as well as everybody else, and just engaging me as well along the process. So thank you for your immediate action. Took in the complaint, resolved it in less than a month. I know it was less than 2 weeks, but just the very fact that you did that was very appreciated. Secondly, this past Friday, I had the opportunity of going to March Air Force Base with our JROTC. And what was amazing about all of that is beginning of the year, we had one of the captain of the JROTC at San Bernardino High School. One of her requests was to go to a military base. And I brought that back to the board meeting, shared it with Mr. Arellano, Superintendent Arellano, and he took it very serious and went to his staff, or went to Mrs. Applegate's staff, and they had a meeting and talked to Dr. Van Tessen and his staff and regarding just the request. And I have to give special recognition to Miss Chloe Ramirez, who definitely made the contact, just gave her the idea, worked with Congressional Representative Pete Aguilar's office on even making that opportunity happen for our scholars. So on Monday, they were able to attend a private viewing of the air show at March Air Force Base, and to be able to see those students' smiles on their faces and have the opportunity, one, to see B-52, F-16, F-18, F-35s is absolutely amazing. I mean, to be able to not only view them, but to be able to tour some of them, go inside. If you saw on our website, some of them even touch with ammunition, and just to have that experience alone is something that they can never, ever forget. So I was super excited to be a part of that, but to be able to just witness their experience and be a part of that experience was awesome. Also, I would like to acknowledge our District Advisory Committee for African American Parents, DAC. I attended an event here in the boardroom where students received an award for improvement in their math scores and their reading scores. And the students that received that recognition went from being at the lower percentile to the 95 percentile. So definitely congratulations and kudos, one, to Dr. Greer and his staff and the focus and the support, but the parents and the students that were in attendance, most importantly, the scholars that improved in those areas. And then on Saturday, along with President Ceballos, I attended the community event that was put on by Dr. Rodriguez's department. It was absolutely amazing. It was an event focused on parents and their support, making sure that they have resources. And I brought a couple things. There was a pocket booklet that is a pocket advocate booklet that shows the parents, really how to advocate for their scholars. Letters about or how to approach their communication when talking to staff members or talking to departments about just any concerns that they might have regarding their scholars. So I think this is a really great pocket guide that they received, but there was also other meetings and seminars to help parents as they matriculate. But what was also important, they also received awards. I guess top 3 parents from each school received an award, and that was pretty cool to be a part of. And then lastly, I attended the Time for Change event. Time for Change is a local nonprofit here in San Bernardino. Kim Carter is the founder and the president of Time for Change. However, what I found out by attending that they actually have a foster care outreach as well. So that was pretty interesting to find out as it relates to just what we do in our district, and perhaps maybe an opportunity for us to tap in and find out if there's resources for us. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Alexander. Mr. Santos?
I don't know what the odds are, Ms. Alexander, but I just met someone from the district about the programs we have for our foster care students, and it's one of those things that I really, really want to be a part of as a former foster care, and glad to know that we do things, but that's the only thing I really wanted to say tonight, that I have to find a way to get involved and speak to those students and see how I can be a part of that.
Thank you, Mr. Santos. Dr. Wyatt?
Thank you, Madam President. And just wanted to bring up that tomorrow we're having our Pacifica Islander Culture Night at Cal State San Bernardino from, I think, like 5:30 to 7:30, 8 o'clock. Really nice event. Appreciate Cal State University San Bernardino hosting the event as well. I think it's in the Santos Manuel Student Union building. Really nice building there. The one we just had the Cesar Chavez breakfast ceremony at as well. So hopefully some of you can make it to that event, and those of you out there watching as well. Should be a really fun time and some great food. Also, just wanted to say thank you as well for the opportunity to be able to speak this past week in regards to the ribbon cutting ceremony for the Michael Gallo Innovation Lab over at Indian Springs High School. I've been very, very fortunate as a board member to speak on behalf of the board and the district for both Dr. Margaret Hill and Mike Gallo, both who were huge mentors and friends and colleagues to me. So I just wanted to say thank you for such a wonderful opportunity, and learned a few things about that innovation lab. And if you haven't been over there, you need to go visit it. That was my first time ever, I'll say that. And all I could say is, wow, that facility, and I'll call it a training facility, is second to none. I also learned that it is the only facility of its kind in a high school in the United States. So when you talk about being innovative and cutting edge technology, cutting edge training and education, we heard a little bit about it right now from our STEAM team over there, our STEAM folks. That's what we offer here in the school district. And I think we need to, as Superintendent Arian would say, is be our biggest cheerleaders for our district, for our programs, for our kids, because I hadn't seen it before. And after going and visiting it and seeing and just real time, I was like, wow, this is unbelievable. Talk about an investment into our children, an investment into our future, an investment into our city. I mean, it's second to none. And I got to say that about the programs at Pacific in regards to the medical programs and our transportation program. And I still haven't seen them all. So every time I get a chance to go see some of these programs, I keep getting blown away. And this is my 10th year doing this now, trying to catch up to Mr. Tillman. Doubt I'll ever do that. But in 10 years, I am still just getting blown away and really impressed by the work of this board and our colleagues before us and the district and our staff. We really are putting our mouth, when we say about putting our actions where our mouth is, we're making it happen for our kids. And, I'm very proud of that as a parent, definitely proud of it as a community member, and even more proud as a board member. So I just wanted to say that to everybody out there watching. And folks, if you want to come and move your kids to an amazing district where amazing things are happening, San Bernardino is the place to be. And, we're going to make the city, and we continue to make the city, an incredible opportunity for our kids and an incredible opportunity for young families. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Wyatt and Ms. Abeles Grande.
Thank you. I just want to mention a couple of things here. Let's see, cancel. Last Saturday, I went to the Biliteracy Achievement Awards at the Way World Outreach. It was so heartwarming and exciting. These children were, each and every one of them were just like bursting, and the teachers and over 700 students. I couldn't believe how long we were there. And but you know what? The time went by, and I didn't think about my feet at all. It was just really, it was that vibrant. The whole and Texacosta and Les and everyone there. Just thank you, Anna, so much for having me. I really had it was just wonderful being around. And that was the Bilingual Achievement Awards. And so next week, or this coming Saturday, I'm excited to be going to the multilingual programs reclassification ceremony. And this one's going to be in San Manuel. I'm afraid to ask how many students do we have, but it doesn't matter. So if you have time, I invite you to come out and just the vibe. Just like, oh, they all work so hard, and I've even asked to speak. That's how excited I am about this. So I really, that's okay. I'm not nervous. I have Maria to help me with words and Chat GPT. So I got it going on there. I'm not afraid. And then also, let's see, one more thing. What was I going to tell you? Oh, yes. And then the following on the 26th, probably won't get a chance to tell you about it for like a long time, so I'm excited about going. I'm going to the Model Schools Awards Gala on the USS Midway in San Diego. Are you going to? Oh, my Felicia's going to. I didn't know that. So Fred, he retired and he was a Navy man, and he served on a big ship and helped the jets come in. So he's excited. He's been there before, of course. So anyway, and I do want to say I really feel thankful for this job here, and I just love everyone I work with, and I love that we are a team, and there's no I in team, and that's what it is right there. There is a T for team and together. So thank you, and that's what I have to say. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Abeles Grande. And for me, just really quickly as well, I just want to say, I missed out on the groundbreaking ceremony. I'm sorry. But I heard Dr. White gave a great speech and represented the board well. So I'm kind of bummed that I missed that too. Dr. Wyatt every now and then gives inspirational speeches. So I'm just kidding. Just kidding. I'm just teasing. I was really bummed to miss it. I heard great things. Also, it was at the Michael Gallo innovation ceremony lab ribbon cutting that you gave your speech. So I apologize. That's the one that I missed as well. But anyway, great things happening in the district, and I just get bummed when I can't attend them. The ones that I am able to attend, it brings me great joy, such as the community event that has already been mentioned, put together by Dr. Thank you, Dr. Gonzalez and Dr. Rodriguez from Family Engagement. And it was just amazing. I gotta say, I got there a little bit later in the day because I was specifically going to come and support with the awards that they were handing out. But I really stayed until the end of the event. It was such a beautiful day. And the presentations and the performances that they had, I know that this was their first year, so I'm really looking forward to next year, attending next year and helping in any way that I can in promoting the event. I was a little bummed that I didn't get to attend the Biliteracy Achievement Awards. They were scheduled on the same day, and so I hope maybe next year we can combine them. That way, I know maybe setting them up in different days could work, but if we were able to combine them, that would be even great. Just kind of collaborate and hold them together, because I saw folks that attended there that I'm sure would have appreciated to have attended, at the other one as well. For example, I know that previous DLAC board presidents were there, Ms. Romy Gamino and Ms. Teresa Alba. I believe they were presenting, doing workshops there as well. So I kind of visited some of them. I actually ran in the lunch area. I ran into Ms. Teresa Alba, and I told her that I would mention it at the next board meeting. I apparently, her granddaughter attends one of our elementary schools, and she was sharing that they do cheerleading competitions, and apparently they were at Knott's Berry Farm, and they got first place, and then the school actually got. It was a different distinction. It leaves my mind right now, but for being second year in a row. Warm Springs is the elementary. Thank you so much. Warm Springs won this distinction twice in a row, and their cheerleading team had won first place there as well. So I was like, oh my gosh, I'll mention it. And if we can invite, I don't think that many elementary schools have cheerleading teams. I think Warm Springs was one of them, and I think at that event I saw another elementary school that was actually having a cheerleading presentation. I can't remember the elementary either that presented.
So our schools, many of the schools have cheerleading squads.
Really?
And we actually hosted our very first spirit competition. I think it was called the Spirit Showdown, where we showcased our elementary and middle school cheer programs through our EXL program. So some of them are in various states of just being established. So Warm Springs is one that's been renowned. Roosevelt is another one. Cajon
Didn't
is
Cajon take first
award-winning
place? Was it state or
in
national?
nationals.
So we need to have them come down here and give them the award.
Yeah, they actually got rings a while back
Perfect.
too. So so we're really excited about all of those things. There's phenomenal things happening at our schools every single day.
I see that, man. I see that. And there's so much just to keep up with it. So thank you for that. So anyway, so I was really, really excited to have attended that. And then also just a shout out to our athletic director, Mr. Ambriani, for having gotten the state recognition. He got Director of the Year. So I think that's it.
Thank you, President Ceballos. A lot of great things happening in this district, which is not a surprise. Before I begin my PowerPoint, I just want to shout out to Anna, Randy, and your team. Great presentation today. I'm so proud of where we are in terms of our STEAM goals. So thank you so much for all your hard work. So I want to start today by just once again acknowledging Anna Applegate, who won the Administrator of the Year for CAVE, and want to congratulate the district in that same conference, earning the Pioneer Bilingual Program Award. We were recognized for being one of the first school districts in the state of California to truly implement a bilingual program back in 1972. And I had the honor of doing the welcoming speech at the conference on Friday morning. And it was proud moment for me to share that I was one of those students in 1972, and I was in Riley Elementary School, actually years later, 74, when I remember transitioning into a class that was bilingual. Really proud of the district. You see Mrs. Alba. Mrs. Alba was recognized with a Medal of Honor. It was the 50th anniversary of CABE, and so they were recognizing parents who had been involved in CABE, so she was one that was recognized. So it was a great week for the San Bernardino City Unified School District being recognized for all the hard work. And it was culminated by, we went to dinner one night with Tex and Mrs. Gamino, and Mrs. Romero, and Mrs. Nunez from the DLAC board. So it was just nice to have some fellowship and camaraderie together as a team. So great day for San Bernardino Unified. Next slide, please. And of course, Mr. Tillman's racking up the awards again. So once again, we need to recognize Mr. Tillman for earning the Socialites Trailblazer Award. So congratulations, Mr. Tillman. And yeah, a round of applause for Mr. Tillman. He deserves it. And next to him, as you see, is our former board member and graduate from San Bernardino City Unified School District, Dr. Gwen Dowdy Rogers, who was also a recipient of the award that night. So very proud to see SBCUSD represented that evening and making a difference in our community. Next slide. As was mentioned, I had the proud honor to fly up to Reno this weekend to be present as Rich Imbriani earned from Cajon High School, athletic director from Cajon, who earned the Athletic Director of the Year for the state of California. And so this was a big deal. And Mr. McGarry and Mr. Tetlock, former retired PE teachers in the district, were there to support him. As you know, Mr. McGarry was Rich Imbriani's PE teacher and basketball coach at Golden Valley. All of us that went through Golden Valley learned under Mr. McGarry. So it was very touching to see Mr. McGarry there. But, you know, I want to do a shout out to Matt Maida and Angel Castro. They're the athletic directors at San Gian Arroyo. They were present there to support a colleague at the awards banquet on Saturday night. So showed a lot of class. So it was really fun to be there, to meet Rich's kids that were there, his 4 daughters, his wife. But just to give you an idea, every year they pick one athletic director from the state of California. Rich was the 53rd winner, right? We have 2 other winners. We've had 3 athletic directors win. Matt Maida won in 2022, and Carmel Brand from Pacific High School won in 2019. There are some districts that never have an AD win the state award, so we've had 3. So it was a great moment to be there. So congratulations, Rich, to you and everything that you've done for the district. Next slide. I had the great honor of being invited by John Duran, who oversees the San Bernardino County Schools EXL programs, and Michael Funk, who is the director of Expanded Learning CDE. They'd asked me to come and share my story. I had talked about when I was a kid. Mr. Tillman might remember this when we were kids. The Boys and Girls Club did all the elementary programs when we were in elementary school, and it made a difference for me going down the 9th Street, playing basketball, doing some boxing. They had a swimming pool, if you remember, Mr. Tillman.
I was afraid of the Boys and Girls Club. I kind of stayed away.
So they allowed me to tell my story about how impactful EXL programs, after-school programs are for kids. So I really appreciate that I was asked to speak, but I also want to commend Dr. Rodriguez and her staff, because we do have outstanding EXL programs across the district, and people know it. And so kudos to our team for really being the leaders of the pack. But that was a good moment, and I appreciate the opportunity to tell my story about how public education and programs can change the trajectories of lives in this district. So thank you for that. Next slide. Big kudos to our special education department, specifically Melissa Hayes and all her colleagues for the Anderson Olympics. I tell you, what a wonderful, heartwarming event. And I know many of our colleagues were there. Just a phenomenal example of inclusive excellence and giving our kids a sense of belonging. So we're very proud of that program, that event every year. I know Dr. Rubio is working hard in trying to forge a formal relationship once again with the U.S. Special Olympic Committee so that they would be a partner in this. So just kudos to everyone. If you haven't had an opportunity to go, it's just a tear-jerking moment, you know, that whole entire day. So thank you, Anna and your team, for everything that they do to put that together. Next slide. And as was mentioned today, a wonderful ribbon cutting, groundbreaking ribbon cutting ceremony over at the Public Safety Building. I know Abigail did a great speech that day. Thank you, Abigail, for your welcoming comments and speech. And I know it was mentioned, Chief, when you got up to speak, class act, inviting all of our sworn officers up front with you to celebrate that moment. Thank you for doing that. That showed a lot of class. And I want to thank Tom Pace for all the work he and his team have done to put this together. And I want to give a shout out to the city of San Bernardino because this was a partnership dialogue with them. So working together as a team is really going to create a great space for our security team moving forward.
Their bond money.
And their bond money. Yep. Next slide. And again, what was mentioned, very touching moment for the Mike Gallo dedication ribbon cutting ceremony. Again, Mary wrote another outstanding event. Thank you for that. I have to echo what Wood has said. Scott Wyatt gave one of the best speeches I've ever heard at an event. Just well done, Scott. You represented the district well, but more importantly, your passion really connected with the family. And I watched the family, the whole ceremony, just watching the pride in their eyes as they, I'm sure, were thinking fondly and missing Mike. But his legacy lives on through his work here. And I just wanted to share, I also want to thank Dr. Marston. I asked Dr. Marston to come and speak because I knew a lot of the work that he laid out he was the soldier supporting the board's vision. And he told a great story about how it all culminated. So it was nice to have kind of Scott talk about the emotion, personal part. Dale talked a little bit about, you know, how it all happened and how it came to fruition. And then I was able to talk about how this was going to change the trajectory of not only the district, but the city. So it was a nice event. So I want to thank both Scott and Dr. Marston for being a part of that presentation. Next slide. And we have great news is every year the California Department of Education, they have their own criteria. It's not something that you can sign up for or even petition. They have criteria. And 1 year it's elementary schools, next year it's secondary schools. This year's an elementary school, 336 elementary schools across the state, which aren't very many when you think about there's 1,000 districts in the state of California. 2 of those schools that earn Distinguished School are right here in the city of San Bernardino. So Ramona Alessandro Elementary, Palm Elementary won Distinguished School designation. So we're going to celebrate that. There is a yearly dinner at the Disneyland Hotel where Tony Thurman, the State Superintendent of Instruction, recognizes each school formally. But this is great. Right here in the city of San Bernardino, schools are getting distinguished certification. So congratulations to everybody at those 2 schools. Administration, teachers, support staff, parents, and kids. We're all very proud of you. Next slide. And we heard a lot today about the arts. We are very proud that we have supported the arts here in this district, and we will continue. And some of the fruits of those efforts, I have to shout out 4 students at Arroyo Valley High School who were recognized at the National K-12 Ceramics Exhibition Competition in Salt Lake City. All 4 of these students are students of excellent teacher Keith Brocky. I'm sure you've heard that name. You've seen him here over the years. But a shout out to Corina Gomez, Sherlyn Lopez, Maria Jose Pineda, and Donna Ruiz. Those were the 4 students at Arroyo, and you see their artwork there that were recognized and earning distinction. So congratulations to our amazing kids. And Mr. Brocky won a couple of awards at that conference as well for outstanding leadership and instruction in the arts. So very proud day for our school district at the National Ceramics Exhibition. Next slide. And of course, we got to brag a little bit about our teen music workshop. As you remember, at the California School Boards Association, they were the opening act of the conference and just was outstanding, outstanding. So much so that I know board member Grande suggested, well, how about we petition to have them perform at the National School Boards Association? So we sent an application, sent a video. Obviously, their reputation preceded them, and boom, there they are. Now, I know it's not a surprise to us that our kids are performing at a national level, but I'm going to tell you this was even cooler. In the upper left-hand corner, you might recognize the actor Kevin Bacon. He's the one on the right, and that's his brother to the left. They have a band called the Bacon Brothers. The Bacon Brothers went on stage to play with our teen music workshop. So yeah, it was a great opportunity experience for kids. So, you know, just congratulations and thanks to Brian Wing and Peter Lamas for all the guidance they give. Congratulations to the kids for representing our school district so well. And then I want to thank Mary Rowan and Terry for being behind the scenes support and getting everything together for them to be there and have practice opportunities and putting together all the reservations and stuff. So thank you so much for all of that, and congratulations to our teen music workshop, which we will be inviting here on June 3rd to recognize their accomplishments and the students as well. Next slide. I always like to give a shout out to past graduates of our school district. This is Mark Collins. He's a 1982 graduate of Pacific High School. He played in the NFL for 13 years. He won 2 Super Bowls with the New York Giants. And this coming week, he's being inducted into the Gridiron Hall of Fame in Chicago. And what the Gridiron Hall of Fame is twofold. Is you have to have been spectacular in football and at the same time be spectacular at charitable work off the field during your time as a football player and after. Mark Collins is an amazing gentleman. If you haven't had a chance to meet with him, he really does a great job getting involved with youth. He lives in Kansas City at this point, but if you recall, he flew out. We invited him for the Jaden Daniels parade. He was here. He's very proud of being from San Bernardino and a graduate. So, Mark, on behalf of the Board of Education District and everyone in the community, you are a role model to our kids. Our kids know that they're walking the same hallways as you, and you give them hope and inspiration. So, Mark, congratulations to you. And I also, next slide, I also want to give big kudos to Dr. Rodriguez and Dr. Gonzalez. I heard that the Community Unity event was amazing. And so I appreciate, I know it takes a lot of work behind the scenes, so please thank everybody involved. And I know we have to do a little better job in the future. There was multiple events happening that day, but I really love the fact that we thought of putting together a program where our parents could come and learn about all the supports, and having people like Mrs. Alba, Mrs. Gamino, Mrs. Romero, those type of folks presenting who have been very involved in being parent leaders is effective. So thank you for that outstanding program. And then my last slide for the night was given a shout out to the cheerleaders at Warm Springs Elementary. This is probably their 3rd or 4th kind of awards. They're a very good team. So kudos to Principal Natalie Morales, but more importantly, kudos to teacher Lorena Sands. She's the coach. But I have to say, part of the competition, they earned extra points if the coaches did a cheer. So Natalie, being a former cheerleader, and Lorena, being a former cheerleader, got out there and actually did a cheer and got the team extra points. So congratulations. But here's another example of after-school programs giving our kids meaning, giving our kids a sense of belonging, but also making our district shine. So it was a great 2 weeks in San Bernardino City Unified. And that's all I have today. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much. And for 14.0 summary of board members' requests, 14.1 review of requests.
Good evening. For tonight, we have 3 requests. The first request is from Ms. Rosales Medina and President Ceballos. They requested to have the policy subcommittee meet and look into scholarships and their overall impact on students of the district. The second request is from Mr. Tillman. He requested to agendize for discussion the criteria for employees receiving awards the district give to employees, specifically the year count or anniversary of employees, or if awards are based on the date of hire of employees. I'm checking for consensus for the board.
Which one was that one?
Agendizing the year count of employees' anniversaries when receiving awards.
We have consensus.
Yeah, I think we can definitely do that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. The last request is from President Ceballos, requesting to combine the Biliteracy Achievement Awards and the Community Summit event to avoid conflict on the calendar and possibly have more attendees at a single event. Thank you.
Awesome. 15.0 meeting adjournment. 15.1 adjournment.
So moved.
Can I get a second? Moved by Ms. Medina, second by Mr. Santos.